Before this video starts, I just want to clarify a couple things that you're going to probably notice watching this video. The first thing is that I made this list and produced a lot of the content included in this video months and months and months ago. I started working on it back in maybe March or April, and right now it is October when this video is finally coming out. So there's a lot of outdated stuff. You'll notice right there, all of these cars that you see here are here for a reason. Either I included them on this list and I don't have a good stock image of them. So for example, Squad's just a picture of her from the movie, even though her diecast has been out for months now. Well, not really months. Her diecast has been out for a while now. But at the time of recording the clip and at the time of making the list, there wasn't that. And at the time of making the slideshows, we didn't know about that. So you'll notice that it is outdated. Same with cars like Mark Sontheimer, who, when I recorded and made the list, he didn't even exist yet. So he has a completely different name. He doesn't have any diecast pictures. I like my name better than the name they actually gave him. And that is kind of similar for a lot of these other cars like Hollum Haynes, the Quadritorquasaur, Rodent Marker, Randy Mato, and numerous other cars that we have gotten released as diecasts recently. But at the time, I didn't have an updated name. We didn't know they were getting diecasts, all right? And I didn't have the stock images to make them, and I did not have names, so they all have my own twist on it, meaning, as I've mentioned, it will be a little bit outdated, but you'll get the general idea. This has been a very long time in the making. I know there's some people that have been, at least one person that's been commenting like every once in a while, telling me to do another one of these, and to be honest, I didn't listen to that person at all. This wasn't inspired by that person at all. I just wanted to do this. But it's finally here for that person, and hopefully you guys will all enjoy. Probably up to this point, my biggest video ever. Possibly my longest. I haven't quite figured out how long it's going to be yet. And overall, one of the most fun, one of the most creative, probably the most creative thing I've created here on this channel. Also, I'd like to give a little shout out to these content creators, Mr. Docket, JScars8, SpaniCars, and AstroSmokey. They're all going to be featured at some point in this video. I'll have them rating out some cars for you guys. So big shout out to them. Thank you so much for helping me out here and for waiting around all these months for me to finally put it all together. And all of them will be linked in the description below. Without further ado, here we go. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. This is a very big and I'm assuming very long video. I don't quite know how long it's going to be because this is the start of the recording. But I'm going to guess it's going to be one of my longest ever. This is the second custom mainline that I have made. I made one way back in I believe 2020. I did a video on that one. That one I alternated between going through the list of all the series, all the cars, and then I would go to a separate document showing all the new cars. This one I wanted to change it up. I made an entire Google slideshow. I used two different Google documents. I used one to, like the other one, write the list of all the names of the cars, and the other one was used to have all the pictures of the new cars and their names that I have come up with. And then I put them together to make this very, very long slideshow. There's over 800 slides. We'll have cars from, the Mater's Tall Tales, Cars 2, Cars 3, Cars on the Road, all the shorts, all the tunes, even stuff outside of the actual released movies and shorts and whatever. We'll have some custom stuff that you won't see anywhere else. I think we are ready. This will be a very long video, so settle in. You can see some examples of some of the cars that you'll be seeing throughout this entire video. So we start off with the mainline. This is just a little page I put at the beginning. This is not fully updated because I finished making the two Google Docs and slideshow and part of the slideshow, and as I was adding more and more, completing the slideshow, I realized more and more things I wanted to add to it. But this page was done before that, so I did my best to update it, but this will not be fully complete. but it will be, for the most part, what you will be seeing. So as for the mainline, we have a whole bunch of different series. We have Radiator Springs, Streets of Tokyo, Tokyo Party, Motor Speedway of the South, Copper Canyon, Florida 500, The Press, Back in Business, Our Town, World Grand Prix, Lemons, Paris Market, Porta Corsa, Los Angeles 500, Salt Fever, which is going to be the Salt Flats episode of Cars on the Road, Dino Park, Lights Out, Warring Factions, which is the Road Rumblers episode of Cars on the Road, On the Set, which is the B-movie episode, Truck Thing, of course, that's the Trucks episode, Gettin Hitched, Circus Velocitas, or Velocitas, I'm not exactly sure, I don't think they ever actually say how you pronounce it, Thomasville, Race Fans, Lightning McQueens and Maters, just like 2013, Drivin', Boss Battle, Rust-Eze, Thunder Hollow, Trading Paint, which is a pretty interesting one I'm proud of, Doc's Racing Days, London Town, Dinoco Daydream, Ramone's Paint Shop, and of course you have some Super Chases. There's also plenty of multi-packs. As for 3-packs, you have Aliens and the Trunk Off Family. Those will both make sense when you see them. 4-packs, you have Truckies, Before the War, Road Trip, High in the Sky, Whale Wash, Doc's Crash, and Rock Fans. 5-packs, you have Los Angeles International Speedway, Tokyo Taxis, and Cryptid Busting. 7-packs, you have Lights Out, Roadwork, and the Visitor Center. And for the 11-packs, you have Road Rumblers, Circus Velocitas, Mater the Greater, and Return to Radiator Springs. And as you can see there, and more, there is definitely more that are not listed here, and you will see those later. For all the different categories here, you can see a picture of at least one car or two that will be in these series. So like you see the bottom left, that old car would be in what would be Our Town. That Road Rumblers coming in the Road Rumblers 11-pack, and so on and so forth. Radiator Springs Classics. I understand this probably wouldn't be possible because Toys R Us isn't around, but I am the CEO of Mattel now, and I am moving this over to just, let's say Walmart. Or actually, let's move it to more local stores, like in Texas, that would be H-E-B, Midwest, it would be Meijer, whatever your like local grocery store, that's also kind of a chain, we'll put it there. 28 singles that are seen at Radiator Springs, the racetrack, and the highway. Those are like the general themes that RSC has followed in the past, so I figured I'd uphold those. There's some pretty neat cars that I threw in there. Tunes, you have Mater the Greater, Moon Mater, Unidentified Flying Mater, Mater Private Eye, Monster Truck Mater, Heavy Metal Mater, Rescue Squad Mater, whole bunch of Maters, Tokyo Mater, El Materdor, Air Mater, I didn't say that before, Time Travel Mater, Radiator Springs 500.5, and Spinning. So all of the Mater's Tall Tales with the addition of Spinning and the Radiator Springs 500.5. We have the Treasure Hunt line, so kind of following Hot Wheels, where they have like the treasure hunts. We are going to do that, but those are where you will see your silver and metallic cars instead of like chases or whatever they've been called in the past. They'll be their own separate like exclusive thing. So we will have 10 silver cars, 10 metallic cars, and we will have a silver 10-pack and a metallic 10-pack to make up those two 10-packs right there. The World of Cars is a line I really wanted to do just because there's a bunch of cars that appear outside of the movies that I wanted to throw in there. You will see what I mean by that. That is a line of wild and wacky cars from both the Cars franchise. Not exactly, they don't have to be in the movie. I'm just saying that they can be, you'll see. And completely made up, there's only one that is completely made up as far as I can tell, and that'll be the one you see in the picture right there. This line includes plenty of singles, a couple of deluxes, a couple 2-packs, and some 4-packs. As for the haulers, looks like there is only one re-release, and that I'm fine with that. So you won't know who these are until I get to them. You'll have Antonio Rumage, Walter Zongelbob, CB Trailer Latch. You can use your kind of if you know who CB is, you can figure out who that is. Mac, of course, Rupert Oil Splash, Trev Diesel, Inoue Halashi, Kevin Cratehull, Sheldon Grimsnap, Sal Interstate, Revney Sandstorm, Clyde William, Larry Windflap, Clint Engine Block, Slight, which comes with Chuckle and Quencher, and Ethan Allwheel Dinger. Going back to 2009, 2010, we have some team sets where it's like the crew chief and all the pitties, but for this one we will have a crew chief, 3 pitties, and the racer. So 5 cars in total. We have Trunk Crush, Violin, Nitroade, Lewis Hamilton, Nigel Gearsley, Jeff Corvette, Dinoco number 42, so Kyle Weathers, Next Gen Combustor, Next Gen RPM, and Next Gen Clutchade, who is pictured right there. Then finally, we have color changers. We have plenty that aren't listed here, and once again, we will get to those and we'll see them later. So we have Heyday Smokey and Jeremy, Cal Weathers, Brooke Fassler, who is a custom made-up car that you will learn about soon, Nigel Gearsley, Ham, Centercut, Speed Dimon, Louise Nash, Intro Ramone, Flo, Miles Axelrod, Milton Calipier, Kabuto, Matty McGear, Greg Candyman, Wilmar Flats, Charlie Checker, Andrew Rugerman. There's also a line of 2-packs. I believe there's 6 2-packs. And there's also a couple more singles that are not included on that list. So there we go. That is kind of your general overview of what we will be seeing today. Let's get into it. So starting off, we of course have Radiator Springs. It would not be a Cars line without like a Radiator Springs theme. Even though they don't do the themes anymore, you can kind of tell like if there is a Radiator Springs line or what lines there would be. Yeah. Starting off, we have Lizzie, and these are going to be in the old-fashioned, numbered, I guess, lists where it'd be like, oh, this car is number 3 out of 11 in the series. We're just going back to that, just kind of make it easier, a little bit more clean. So we're starting off with Lizzie. Then we go to Doc Hudson. We have a Yellow Light Fillmore, which is the Fillmore released in the Cars 3 Radiator Springs Classics line, where he has the expression where he's like looking up at the yellow light. Probably my favorite Fillmore variant, and I figured we'd re-release him again, give him an official name, because that's like my fan custom name for him, even though it makes plenty of sense. They just called him Fillmore during their release. We have Sheriff, Sally, and of course we're going back to the updated model of Sally. Of course, gotta have Mater. Cars 7 and 8 will be the combined Luigi and Guido, who are usually just released as one single and 2 cars. Number 9, we have Sarge. Number 10, we have Cruise and Lightning McQueen. And of course, this will be the corrected version with the bumper stickers on the back. Number 11, we have Red. I would like to point out that on Cruise and McQueen, there presumably was a point in time where he was Cruising McQueen without the bumper stickers, because obviously Ramone didn't paint around the stickers. I'm assuming he took them off and put them back on, but we don't see that in the movie. So while there technically is a Cruising McQueen without bumper stickers that would theoretically appear in the Cars universe, he never appears in the movie without the bumper stickers. So I just wanted to point that out. I thought that was kind of interesting. A 2-pack, we have Flo, who will feature an updated new expression, which you see here, and Yellow Ramone. But even though you see the kind of darker golden Ramone here, it will be the updated, corrected Yellow Ramone, like the one we saw released as the hydraulic version. And finally, we have another 2-pack featuring Mater with Hood, who, as you can see in the picture, is a lenticular. It won't be a lenticular. He will finally be getting a normal release. And a Radiator Springs Lightning McQueen, which will come with a new updated expression just like Flo, but that expression isn't one that I edited myself. That's actually one that appeared in an old stock image for him. Next up, we have the Streets of Tokyo, and I'll send that over to JScars8. Okay, so sorry for interrupting that transition right there. I just wanted to mention that when I have other people talking, you might notice a couple things wrong with the screen, because I had to send them screenshots of what the slides look like, and I just used those screenshots and pasted those over the audio messages they sent me. So like the very first one you're about to see here has a giant like click to escape tab thing, because that's what the screenshot I took looked like. Just ignore it. You'll still get the point. And not related, but I do want to mention that a lot of the cars that I came up with are named after real people. A lot of them are named after NASCAR drivers. You'll see some of those in there. And I guess I took inspiration from like people I know in real life. Like if you see a name you don't recognize, it's probably because maybe I have someone who I met or someone who was in one of my classes because I am still in high school, that I have like so many, I have hundreds of new characters here, and you run out of new name ideas fast, so I did kind of take some inspiration from just like people who I know and recognize. So just wanted to point that out. Now we can transition to JScars8. Thank you.
Cars 2 may not be the most appreciated movie in the world, but one thing it certainly gave collectors was a look at so many new and unique models for the franchise. This is especially apparent in the first half of the movie, where we get a glimpse of the wonderful streets of Tokyo and all the potential diecasts it has to offer. The first car in the Streets of Tokyo series is Heike, a red Honda hatchback. Heike was originally released back in 2016 and is a car that I missed out on personally, so it's definitely be awesome to have him return in the mainline. The second car is Cartney Breakin', a chase from 2012. How can a chase be released again, you may ask? Well, simple. Mattel doesn't care, so neither do we. Cartney would be an awesome re-release to take the place of Maddie McGear on store shelves. Up next is Jesse Hollander, who you may mistake for Ito-san from Tokyo Mater. I know I did back in the day, since they are the exact same model. Jesse makes perfect sense to release again, considering his model is being used for Ito in the current 2023 mainline. Tamiko has so far only been released over a decade ago, exclusive to a 2012 5-pack. Her Tabuki sisters, Okuni and Shigeko, have been released numerous times, so it's about time Tamiko joins them, although I'm sure this release would certainly diminish the value of the original, who is quite rare nowadays. The first new car of the series is Rico Tarbble, named after former NASCAR driver Rico Abreu. Riku looks to be a blue hatchback, likely a Honda, and would be an awesome piece to add to my collection. Next up is Takuma Koligo, who looks more like a car from London than the streets of Tokyo. Takuma gets his name from a Japanese racer named Takuma Koga, who competes in the ARCA West series. Always great to see some actual race car drivers serve as inspiration for these characters, in my opinion. Emmy Gear Twist almost looks to me like a red and black Mini Cooper. Not too much to say about her, other than she would be an awesome release from Mattel. All the way back in 2013, there was a series dedicated entirely to variants of Mater from Cars 2, and the version of him sporting oil cans at the sumo wrestling event always surprised me that it was never released. After 10 years, I think it's about time Mater with oil can hat makes his debut. On to 2-packs. Of course, Okuni and Shigeko are needed to complete the trio with Tamiko. These two may not be the most exciting re-releases, but they are definitely needed to round out this series. And last but not least, we have Race Team Mater and Street Wheels Lightning McQueen, not to be confused with Racing Tires Lightning McQueen or Lightning McQueen with party wheels. Out of all the cars in my collection, I'd say that Race Team Mater is the one I have the most duplicates of, but considering how long it's been since his last release, seeing him on shelves again would almost be refreshing. Street Wheels Lightning McQueen may be just another slight variant to our standard World Grand Prix McQueen, but I believe this would be the first time we see him sporting black spokes, which will definitely give him a super clean look.
Thank you big time for that. Now it's time for Tokyo Party. We got Mike Fuse, got re-released in a 2-pack pretty recently. I do wish they didn't do that, just because he was a really unique character that kind of is a peg warmer now, but still nice to see him. We have now Lachbar. There is an edit I did of him down there. He is a camera person at the Tokyo Party. A little green Honda, pretty neat. Next up we have Eddie Snapdrive. This is the car that I believe the Diecast Encyclopedia confused for Carlo Maserati. He's a Mercedes. He's like a maroon red, pretty cool car right there. Then you got Kabuto, pretty standard. He does appear in like every Tokyo related cars thing ever. We're just gonna pretend that he has the red tires here. That's what it'll look like. Then we have Madison Jolt Plate, a purple, I believe that's purple Porsche. Another new, well, we don't have any Porsches except for Sally, as far as I can remember. Actually, no, we have Megan Carrar. We have Megan Carrar and we have Sally, and that's it for our Porsche character. So we're adding another one here. We're also adding another character in Madison in a new color. Then we have Linda Revna. She is this big, like, Pinion Tanaka model car, except she doesn't have all the fancy, like, sumo wrestling stuff. She's just a big plain pink SUV. Very, very cool. That'll be a fun deluxe. Then we have a classic 2-pack Gremlin Acer. I don't actually remember if they ever did one of these. They probably did. I can't remember off the top of my head. But if they didn't, this would be the very first time that they're doing it. And they both do appear at the Tokyo party, so this is the perfect chance to do it. Lastly, we have like a 4-pack, kind of. It's a 2-pack, but you can squeeze 4 cars in there because they're so tiny. You have Edamame Sashimi and Daisu Sashimi, who got releases in 2015, I believe, alongside Mater with oil cans. And they did get official names. You can see them up top there. Then you have Takehiko Sushif and Tuji Akita. Those are the 2 Tokyo Party cleanup staff pitties that got released in the original Cars 2 line, but they didn't have names. They were just called Tokyo Party cleanup staff. So now they're getting official names. Now we move on to the Motor Speedway of the South. Starting off, got a little bit of a classic here, Claude Scruggs. Going on, my personal favorite, everyone knows him, everyone loves him, Kevin Shiftright. Next up, Dirksen D'Agostino, and like many others, we've already seen Flo and that Radiator Springs McQueen. He will feature a brand new expression as seen here. And if you haven't caught on already, you can see which cars are coming up on the left. So you can see like a Zippy lockup. You might be wondering like, who's that? It builds a little bit of anticipation. Got Eugene Karbursky, the tank coat racer. Another classic in Winford, Bradford, Rutherford. Of course, wouldn't be a diecast line if you didn't have Chick Hicks. Another one of my, one of the ones I like more than the others, I'd say. Hall Ingus. We got Corey Turbowitz fitting in perfectly in this series. We have Wilmar Flats, personally one of my favorite race fans. Love the pink. Now we get into some of the newer cars. We have Zippy Lockup. He is this small little car that appears next to Albert Hinkey, Big Al, at the Motor Speedway of the South. And he does have the expression that you see in that custom diecast. That's just not what visible in the screenshot I took. I like the look of him. I like the color. The custom on the right is an actual custom that I have. That is my picture. But the color is not accurate to the movie, as you can see right there. So it will be the version that we actually get released. It'll be the accurate color that you see on the left there. Won't be the darker blue, but it will feature the expression on that matches the custom version. I like the look of that. Then we have Brooke Fastler. We have a custom edit I did of her down at the bottom. She is a little purple car that appears when Lightning McQueen like jumps through the thing, being like, I won. I really like the look of that purple there. The edit doesn't really do it justice. It's a little too like purple pink. So of course the real one will match what you see in the actual image from the movie. So we have Austin Konski, a new reporter. Looks to be maybe, I can't really tell what model it is. It's half blocked off. I think it's maybe the Christina Wilson model, but you can't exactly tell for sure. With a cool looking grill, all white, got the long microphone. Pretty cool new release. Next up we have Arthur Four-Seater he's a very weird looking model. Almost looks like a Toyota Prius. And he appears outside of the Motor Speedway of the South as McQueen is leaving in Mac. He's one of the cars that's like there, like watching the trailer go by. Pretty nice looking color as well. And then we close out the Motor Speedway of the South series with a classic Elvis RV. Go on to Copper Canyon Speedway, keeping up the trend of the speedways, the racers, and all that. Starting off with another clutch-head racer, Dino Draftski. Nice to see this guy back on the pegs. Got another 10-coat racer in Reb Meeker. First release in a long time for Tommy Highbanks. He has not been released since the original Cars 3 diecast line. We have never seen him. As far as I know, we've never seen what his artwork looks like. This would be a nice chance to finally get that. There may be a trading card or something out there, but we've never seen his card art on like an actual card back. Starting with the new cars, we have Haley Quizwin. He's a silver motor Turner model. I like the look of that, with a tank, not a tank coat, an N2O Cola. I guess you could say that's a hat on her. It's not exactly a hat, it's more of like a decorative thing. I don't know what to call it. Big old 68. I like the look of that, and I do love that silver color on that motor Turner model. I have another new car in Liz Carza. Just a green, kind of metallic, pretty cool looking Emily engine model that appears in the stands. Then we have Hongston Hill. This is a very blurry image, I apologize, but this is the only image you see of the Little Torquey Pistons crew chief, and he appears for a very split second, and you have to zoom in way far to get him, but you can tell it's the Little Torquey Pistons crew chief, and he is the Biz Torxon model. So Hongston Hill, Little Torquey Pistons crew chief, or specifically this would be the Ralph Carlo crew chief. Of course, we just move on to a simple Cal Weathers. Then we have Zach Gary, who I also made an edit of. He is the crew chief for Todd Marcus. You can see the picture of him up there. He is the Melissa burner brake model. He's a bright red. This has the 123 on the sides and a mostly black headset. The screenshot isn't actually from the Copper Canyon Speedway, but this is just a general series for like the Cars 3 stock cars and other cars related to that. And he does appear at the Copper Canyon Speedway. It just isn't the best angle of him. I want to use the best angle or screenshot as I can for all the cars. There, I do like the look of the edit I made. It isn't perfect, but it's relatively nice. Gets the job done. You just got another one, Bobby Swift, in a lot of those, classic Cars 3 stock cars that we saw early on in the Cars 3 diecast line. We have Lionel Lakeway, the Pity for TG Castlenut. You got a good shot of him here. Got the big old revolting logo on the side with the 48 underneath. And here he's carrying a set of tires, but we'll just make him look like a normal Pity. He won't have like the forks way up in the air. But he will come with a revolting tool cart and a stack of those black tires or the black rims on those tires there. You have Harley Punchit. This is the crew chief for Bobby Swift. When it switches over to Danny Suarez, you can see the number changes color to orange or yellow, and it changes fonts. So this is the best screenshot I could get of Harley when he's crew chiefing for Bobby Swift. Of course, once again, this isn't a shot from Copper Canyon. It's a shot from, I believe, the Motor Speedway of the South, but just the best you can get. First time we'd be seeing this model. This model appears a lot in Cars 3 and beyond, like Cars on the Road. We haven't gotten any die casts of a model on it yet, so it'd be nice to finally get that out of the way. Nice to finally get another Cars 3 crew chief, because so far we've only gotten one Cars 3 crew chief, and that would be Ray Reveringham. We did get a canceled version of Fabulous McQueen with headset and Smokey with headset, but no Cars 3 stock car chiefs at all. And we have Mater with track hat. This was released by the Disney store. I don't remember exactly what they called it during that release, but we're just going to call it track hat Mater with track hat. And capping it off, we have Dakota Workbed, who is this security guard you see next to Jackson Storm. Very cool looking car. Sticking with the race cars theme, I think this is the end of the tracks. We have the Florida 500. And just like Copper Canyon, this will basically be an excuse to release next gens or crew chiefs, whatnot. Starting off, we have Jim Reverick, who is surprisingly very, very rare. I haven't checked his price in a while, but it is up there. It was released in 2021, was very scarce, and while he is he's not a super rare car where you can't even find one available, he is getting up there in price. Last I checked, he was $50. I'm almost certain he has gone higher, maybe much higher than that. Haven't checked in a while. We have Ed Trunken, similar to Tommy Highbanks, has not been seen with card art yet, so we will see that now. Let's see Ed back in the lineup. We have Elise Treelight, a new race fan, a Jackson Storm race fan. She will be this BMW, a bright blue BMW with a Jackson Storm big old S on her head with that 20. And of course, just like JScars8 wouldn't be a diecast line without Jackson Storm absolutely just making the pegs and turning it into his own kingdom. We have Chris Revstopski with checkered flag. This has been released before, but on the inaccurate Chris Revstopski model. As you can see here, they were intending to make the checkered flag version on the updated model, but it was not released. It was canceled, at least I believe it was. So we will finally be getting that Chris Revstopski with checkered flag on the updated model, and that does in fact appear in the at the Florida 500. Rust-Eze Cruz Ramirez, just another classic one. Maddie McGear. You have Mike Turntight, who is this police car on the Rod Torque Redline model, or like the Mike DD police car model. It's got like it's kind of dressed up like sheriff. I think this is a car that Mattel might actually do in real life, but so far they have not, so we are doing it. We have Angelo Slimspoke, the crew chief for Harvey Rodcap. Travis Bentpanel, the crew chief for Herb Kerbler. You can see him in the bright lights right here. You have just JD McPillar. Carter Wheelek, the crew chief for George Newen. You can't really see it in this image, but he will have the number 52 on his sides, probably towards that rear, what would you call it? The rear door. And finally, we kept it off with a 2-pack of Ashley Shunt and Macy Puffgear. Ashley being the crew chief for Fast Fong, or Ashley being, did I say, I don't know. Ashley is the crew chief for Fast Fong, and Macy is one of the pitties for Fast Fong, and that pitty will come with, let's say, another, just again, toolbox and a stack of tires, and those tires will be yellow, or the rims will be yellow, because Fast Fong's wheels are yellow. Now we move on to the press. Starting off, Bernie Banks. Not sure anyone who could really be mad that we're finally getting Bernie Banks after he was canceled back in the final lap line over 13 years ago, or just about 13 years ago. He's a very cool looking car as well. Nice to finally get him. Now we have Human. It's nice to see Human again. Miranda Merriweather is this green Jen Hansen model that appears at the Rust-Eze Racing Center with a camera. Carly Treadsley, who also appears at the Rust-Eze Racing Center. It is a blue Mini Cooper. That looks pretty cool. Jack Hornblair is this red Range Rover who has the headset and the giant microphone. It doesn't actually have the camera. The camera you see is a part of the other tan SUV, if you can't tell. We have Min Santos. There is an edit I did of him. He is a purple Melissa Brennenbrake model. He's got the big ol' Studs McGirdle camera, and he has just fully black headphones. I like that edit. I'm proud of it. We have Cole Quickhalt appearing at the Motor Speedway of the South. Looks like he would be a Timothy two-stroke or Studs McGirdle model with just a camera, and he's kind of like a almost very light blue. Have skip right over. I did not do my. There he is. It looks like he did Niles Miles out of order. So we're just going right on to Jordan McLean, who you can definitely see here is the Christina Wilson model, in kind of like an almost like metallic aqua color, maybe a little bit green, with that microphone looking very awesome. Gavin Heighton, basically Cora Copper, but like a bright or a pale yellow. Now we get into Niles Miles. I'm not sure why he was all the way down here, but Niles Miles is this sedan. I don't believe we've seen this model released before, but he looks pretty cool. That image isn't elongated. He really is just that wide in the movie, which looks pretty funny. It's like a pale green, almost kind of metallic color. Go to Bert, getting a release for the first time in I don't know how long. And he will have this new expression that you see here. We have Diego Groove Pole, who is this truck you see in the background, like a light green pale truck with the camera. Always wanted this guy. And last but not least, we have Edgar Offline with camera, and he is this like Fiat Panda, green Fiat Panda, and he comes with the big camera just like Graham, so that's what makes it a deluxe. Back in business, I'm sure you can guess what this would be. I'll take a gander. It will be the scene, or the end credit scene from the original Cars movie, where they are, I don't know, the Radiator Springs backs up. It opens back up, and you have all the cars with coming back in, opening the town back up. So we got plenty of cars to choose from. We just started off with a very simple Marilyn. You see Brighton Center in that scene. Have Nick Stickers, who for some weird reason is like married to Marilyn. You have like Marilyn Stickers, Nick Stickers. You have Vicky Roadlink, who is this yellow. I don't think she shares a model with any other car. Maybe Valerie Veet. She's just a yellow sedan. Terrence Carnova, just a teal aqua truck. Jill Runred. This is definitely not a model we've gotten released as a diecast. Red car, very interesting, unique model. Dan Carslink is this yellow Swift alternator model. We have Fillmore and Purple Ramone. Another 2-pack. We have Radiator Springs Mia and Tia from this one scene where they do appear in like their waitress outfits, but without the things on the roof or the trays. Then finally, the last 2-pack, we have Grant Greenlight and Gary Glassbed. You can see there, they appear at the very bottom as kind of like a throwback to Edwin Cranks and the other car that he's with. I love the edit of Grant. Gary, it looks fine, but it's not as good as Grant. I'm very proud of Grant. It's maybe one of the best edits that I've done. You can see them there during the back in business scene. Very awesome. I do have a custom of Grant Greenlight, which I reviewed back in 2020, if you want to go check that out. Might have to review him again sometime soon. It's a very awesome custom. Our town. This scene is pretty well known. Started off with Milton Caliper, or Caliper, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. Edwin Cranks, as I just mentioned while talking about Grant Greenlight. Hank Halloween Murphy. We have Mickey Streffen, or Streffin, as in like the fins on the back of him. He's like a black and almost a yellow-green Derek Decal styles model. You could make this as a custom if you wanted to. A very nice looking car, and this is the one you saw on that like first or second page. Charles Traveltop, a very weird looking old car. No clue what model he's supposed to be. He's got like a weird, almost Elvis style like roof. I'm not going to go too far into that. Gino Mint Motor. This kind of like a bright green with a yellow or rather white roof. Old School Ramone. Dill Revsy. This kind of another model, shared models like Derek Decal's Dobbs or some of those guys. He is red and white and a little bit of black. You have Nikki B, one of my favorite old time cars. Robbie Carano, another new car. Evelyn Shift Pattern, another brand new model. Haven't seen anything like that before. Maybe, just maybe, you can make a case of Rusty Rusties, but it is not the same. And finally, you have Percy Handbrakes and Brand New Mater. It was just a 2-pack waiting to happen. Those two appear right next to each other. In fact, Tow Mater is literally towing Percy in the scene. Next up, we have the World Grand Prix, and I will send it over to someone who needs no introduction.
Alright, a little World Grand Prix action going on here today. Love to see it. A very underrated facet of the Cars universe, at least right now, 12 years after Cars 2 came out. But we're going to start the series off with none other than Jeff Gorvette, a very iconic and recognizable character, and love to see him, and just love the bright yellow that Thailand has been doing with him. Moving on, we have Nigel Gearsley, an interesting pick here for number 2. I like him, one of my least favorite World Grand Prix racers, but that British racing green, you just can't go wrong. Then probably my least favorite World Grand Prix racer, Max Schnell, here at 3. Nothing really against him, but his model has been used so many times that it has gone a little repetitive. Plus, I mean, all these guys have been released a ton over the last decade plus. Coming at number 4, we have Francesco Bernoulli. He's a have-to-have here in the World Grand Prix line. Love seeing the guy, and I really hope we see him sometime down the road, still in the Cars franchise. Then we have Lewis Hamilton, so Jeff's buddy. Him and Jeff go hand in hand, so love to see these two together. Moving on, my favorite personal World Grand Prix racer, and probably has something to do with the fact that he was released so much later than everyone else, Rip Clutch-Gonski, or Clutch-Ganeski. I've called him Clutch-Gonski for forever, but I honestly probably think it should be Clutch-Ganeski. Maybe, who knows. Raul Serul, another bottom tier WGPer for me, but still cool. I like him. Good to see him here. Shu Todoroki is next. I like him. I like the red dragon design he's got going on. A very unique model. You know, all of the World Grand Prix racers are, but this one in particular, very flat. And then here's another one of my favorite World Grand Prix racers, Carla Veloso. Huge fan of her just meshed together gradient green blue design. Looks really, really good. Now we have Miguel Camino from Spain, someplace I want to travel one day. Absolutely would love to go to Spain, hang out with Miguel Camino and El Materdor and some bulldozers. That sounds like fun. What does not sound like fun is seeing World Grand Prix Lightning McQueens on the pegs. But hey, again, he's a have-to-have. And you know what? Could be worse. Could be worse. We have Eric Langley here, the flag waver. I really, really want Mattel to release some of the other flag wavers because according to Mattel, there's only one and it's Eric. But as you can see here, there are other ones for each country's race. I, of course, was able to get customs commissioned of these two. I did videos on them. They're by Jim Scavenger, Harry Checkered, the Austin Mini Cooper, and Kaiser Clip, I believe that was a Fiat from the Porta Corsa race. So yeah, there you have it. Love to have these and very excited to have them here in the series. Then we got Autobahn and Hans Hairpin. So Max Schnell's Pity was actually unnamed when he was released in 2016. He's since gone extinct or heavily endangered, FYI, but yeah, that's a great name. Very German, very appropriate. Then we have Petro Cartolina and Honk Cho. Petro has a new expression here, so definitely check that out. You know, you gotta spruce some of this stuff up, right? And Honk Cho, a very not so Spanish name, but hey, maybe, you know, he came in from somewhere else, who knows? But yeah, there it is for the World Grand Prix series. I like it a lot. The flag wavers are definitely the highlight without a doubt.
Thank you very much for that, and now we move on to the lemons. Who hates the lemons? I mean, they are the bad guys, but they are some of the coolest looking cars that you can get as a diecast. Starting off, we just have a simple Victor Hugo. Also have a Don Crumlin. I don't remember if he exactly appears in the movie. I know that he doesn't appear during the London fight scene, which is where Mattel or Disney thinks he appeared. But I don't know. I do think he appears somewhere in the movie, just not at the scene where Mattel thinks he did. We have Tyler Gremlin finally getting a re-release. Nice looking red Gremlin. Same thing with Fred Fizbowski. He's not as yellow as you would like him. He's more of like a yellowish green. Way too similar to Acer. We have Sammy Rustbolt, a new Hugo. Looks like he's basically a lighter rusty color. Looks like he has maybe like a gray or a pale green fender. Got Sketch Slip Tire, bringing this one back from the original custom mainline I did. He is the screen gremlin that basically just flies and slides off of the oil rig. Got Ross Dorfing. He is this darker blue pacer. A lot of people think that this is who Petey Pacer is. And while you can find Petey Pacer in the movie, I believe they are ever so slightly different colors. And if they aren't, we're just pretending that they are two different characters, because I want this guy as a separate diecast instead of Petey. And of course, that is not the color that Petey's diecast is. The issue would be is if Petey's diecast is correct or not. Let's have Vladimir Trunkov. We'll give him that expression. I don't think that, yeah, the actual diecast, I don't believe has that goofy looking expression. So we'll give that to him. Got a new car in Alan Wheelio. He is this yellow gremlin. You got Igor Gremlin, looks like another lighter colored Rusty Gremlin. Maybe he's got like a different colored hood, it appears. That'd be a pretty cool one to see. Got Boris Jump Curb, who looks like a black or brown Rusty Pacer. Leonard Leak is this trunk off, looks like he is a rusty green, and he's got that right front fender is replaced with a red right front fender, which looks pretty cool. Yuri Pacer appears right next to Leonard. As you can see, Leonard up in that top left. He's just another nice looking green Rusty Pacer. Got Al Overturn, once again kind of like a Donna Pitts pattern, but looks like he's got like a bright green, or like a minty green colored door. That looks really awesome. And finally, to close it out, we have Donovan Rexit. We can't see exactly what color it is. I just want to call that like a red. He is a Hugo, and we don't have enough Hugos. There's only like a couple different Hugos that appear in the movie, and most of them are either black, or you have, of course, Victor, what's his name? Victor, who is just that kind of tannish color. So you don't have a lot of like different colored Hugos like you do with like Gremlins or Pacers. Moving on, we got the Paris market. Of course, gotta have Tombe. Don't have a whole lot of cars within the Paris market. Tombe is probably the poster child of that series. Got Justin Partson, bringing him back, as well as Jason Hubcap from 2016. Philippe Stuffsy, new car. He is this, I believe that would be like a Citroen model. Looks like he's blue, he's all muddy, got some rust, pretty nice looking. Dennis Wastemax, another, I believe that would be a Citroen, like a John or a, what's that mime called, Louis? I forgot exactly what his name was. But he looks pretty cool. Looks like he has like a rusty color. He's got that blue door, looking very nice. We just gotta go with Holly Shifwell with electroshock device. Not a whole lot of options for this series. This is a pretty nice one to have. Got Gabriel Picaride. He is this like truck that is Louis LaRue, that's the car's name, I just remembered. We have Gabriel Picaride. He is this blue version of Alexis Wilson, like this rim or I guess a wheel vendor. See a little edit I did of him up there. Then we close it off with Alexis Wilson herself. Next up, Porta Corsa. Got Eric Wheely, of course, the canceled red Jaguar with the glasses from 2017. Reed Engick, who is this like yellow or orange or kind of like a salmon red, not yellow, red, instead of yellow, reddish orange, salmon colored Luigi model. There's a little edit of Reed up there. Got Armani Alldriver, who is this pity that is carrying around Fabrizio and his like, I guess like cruise luggage. Got Gabe Steerpiller, this yellow opal who has a Francesco hat on his head. Looks like the hat is actually kind of like infused into like his roof, which I'm going to assume is an interesting little like error on Pixar's part. Also looks like he has some kind of antenna that has a flag up there, but the flag is not visible due to like the angle it's at. So I'm just going to assume that's like a Francesco flag. And of course, I'm sure if Mattel were to do this guy as a diecast, they would not notice the flag. They just give him the hat. We see that antenna right there. We'll add a little flag onto him. Got Tyrell Carbred, another Francesco fan. This time he is a red Range Rover. Diallo Axle Spin, a golden Bentley. We're just going to assume that we got the licensing for Bentley. Luna Hill Jump, she is this green Mini Cooper reporter you see when McQueen is trying to find Mater. Got Piero licensed merch. He is this like red pity that is selling the Francesco merch. Mater crashes into him on his like parachute or whatever. You can see right here, he's just a red pity, and obviously we can't include his like whole tent in that single. So we'll give him like that, a couple of those cups you see. We'll give him maybe a little Francesco like plushie or whatever to kind of add some more to him. Got Alfonso Pine Rim. He is this kind of forest green Maserati. We have Met Guzzler, who will be, I guess, the rescue squad chopper. Not the rescue squad. I think it's just the rescue chopper. He never got an official name. It was just the rescue chopper. He was actually released back in the Take Flight line around like 2013, but extremely inaccurate. The issue is that you can see there the deco on this chopper is much different than the rescue squad chopper. But the release is just the rescue squad chopper, except they made like the hood area black. It didn't change any of the other decals, so it is a wildly inaccurate diecast. So we're giving this chopper a name, and we're giving Met Guzzler the proper decals and design. A 2-pack here with Enzo Wiliani and Gianna cable shocks. You can see Enzo is a bright blue Ferrari, once again assuming we got that license back. I know Mattel doesn't have the license at the moment, but we'll pretend they do. And then we're also pretending that I run Mattel, I guess. And we have Gianna cable shocks, who is that not bright blue, a darker blue Alfa Romeo. And our final 2-pack consists of Greg Van Holt and Rocco Bernrubber. They are the two like security guards for Fabrizio. You can see there. Don't have any black Maseratis there. We have a blue Maserati, a green one, a white one, and a red one. No black ones yet. We also don't have that like dark green one that we saw earlier, which would be Alfonso Pine Rim. Moving on, we are going to the Los Angeles 500. Starting off, we have Todd the Pizza Planet truck. I really wanted to include him. I feel like he doesn't get associated enough with the LA 500, even though it's where he appeared in the first Cars movie. And we do know that he's getting a release in 2023, so that is pretty neat. We got Nate Hubcapman. He is this Dan Schlarkenberg model, kind of like a darker teal, greenish blue color, with a piston cup hat on his head. You can see an edit I tried to do of him. Didn't turn out too great. We have Perry Broke Cable. Looks like that is the Christina Garcia model, and kind of like a Darla Vanderson color with that king hat. We have Senya Speedweek. Looks maybe to be the Wilmar Flats model. You can't quite tell on her. Very, very awesome looking car. You got like the king flag, you got the king hat. Awesome looking color. This would be an awesome diecast to have. I'm proud of that name too. Speed Week is like the NASCAR Speed Weeks you have in February. They don't really call it that anymore, but that would be a nice little tribute. Zane Carler, basically just Swift alternator, but he's got a hat now. We'll change up the expression. We'll change that color a little bit. Looks like he's a little bit darker than Swift. A little bit darker shade of green. Bobby Brinkdent. This is a very interesting looking model. I don't even know what's going on here. It looks like if you went into CAD. CAD, you made a trapezoid and you like extruded that trapezoid a little bit. We don't have any car that looks like this. He's got the gaskets flag, which I think is really cool. So this will be a brand new model, and he'll have that gaskets flag. Pretty weird color too. It's like a pale purple. Carter Carton is this Milo model car. He is in a black color, and he has that big old king flag. You can see a little edit I did of him down there. Zoom Treadalot, another new model, very similar color to Nate Hubcapman. He's also got that piston cup flag. Nicole Median Merge, this SUV probably of the Mini or Keith Cohn model. She's got the leakless flag, which is pretty awesome. Millie Campsite, a new RV. Millie's got that like Chick Hicks thing up there. That's pretty awesome. For a 2-pack, you have Ryan Slambarrier and Fernando Divelo. Of course, Ryan over there, you can see an edit I did of him up there. I tried my best. Not the best. He is the Derek Williams model, and he has that like Lightning Queen flag, pretty awesome looking. And then Fernando is a kind of darker yellow, almost like a tannish color. Then finally, the final 2-pack is Erased Damaged King and Linda Weathers. You can see right there, Linda has those like she has a new expression. That's interesting. It's not the best. I did attempt to do an edit of that. It didn't turn out amazingly, but it gets the job done. Next up, we're going into cars on the road with Salt Fever. Starting it off with a very simple Revo Coast. Erica Tire Thread, this like silver station wagon. BJ Gas Slam. He is a green gremlin, like the green gremlin racer. Disney Docket or Mr. Docket or Mr. Disney Docket, whatever it currently is at, has a video of a custom of this guy if you want to go check that out. We've got Kaz Twister, who is basically, what's his name? That's Jammin', but without like that corroded metal feel, and he is just a brighter blue. Very awesome. You got Lou right here. There's an edit I did of her. Royce Revley, of course. Layla Crossherd, who was one of the racing team owners. Beth Rendawavy, very weighted diecast, even though she really only appears in the episode for like a quick second. She has this big old green semi. Got the wheels that are looking almost like the moon. There's like no detail to them. They're just like a big circle. Like big engine in the back. Pretty cool design. Got Super Speeder Mater, who we've seen is as a Disney Store release. And in a playset, so I feel like the actual Mattel diecast isn't too far away in like a multi-pack or whatever. Got a 2-pack with Mechanic Noriyuki and Sarah Cogs. And finally, finishing off with another 2-pack. This 2-pack includes Dale Passy, who is that like pusher truck, Vincent Patel, who is that purple and orange pitty, and Michelle the Spinner, who is that pink and white pitty. And they won't come with the tires; they'll just be with themselves to have space in the packaging, because Dale will take up half of it and then the 2 pitties will take up the other half of it because they're small enough to fit in there together. Next up, we have the Dino Park. We have Laura Axelbox. We know her name is Laura through like I believe it's maybe like a German magazine, but we don't have a last name, so we're going to add on that last name of Axelbox. We have the West Philanthropist. There he is right there. I will note at the time I made these slides, I didn't have a picture of the West Philanthropist loose, so this is the best I have. Of course, now we do have a picture of the West Philanthropist, like as a loose diecast, but I didn't edit that, unfortunately. We got Cave Lightning McQueen, very detailed car. Cave Mater. Of course, we saw through the 2023 poster that he will not be getting a release in 2023, at least not as a single. I guess he could be in like a 2-pack or a multi-pack. But as far as we can tell, he's not getting a release in 2023, which is really weird because they did McQueen, and they did the Mater and McQueen variants for every episode. Look, you have the Cryptid Buster McQueen and Mater. You had you had the Roadrunners, and you I think I'm out of ideas for that. They really only did 2, but it's weird to not have them as a pair. So this is the Tomica diecast that you see in the picture right there. Once again, another one that I did not have a picture of while I made the slides. We have the Pitstoposaurus. We got the Mechaturbanatops, the big old red Mack truck dinosaur. Abby Hazelnut, one of the visitors to the visitor center, or I guess the Dino Park rather. Kind of like a bright blue Jenny Tolan model. Got a 2-pack with the Quadratorchosaur and the baby Quadratorchosaur. They're not too terribly different, but they do have their small differences. We do know that the Quadratorchosaur will be getting a release in 2023. He's been on the card backs and he was on the poster. I will note that he was supposed to be in one of the cases that's already been out and he wasn't, so maybe they rearranged it. Hopefully the Quadratorchosaur is not cancelled. I felt like it would be very cool to include the baby Quadratorchosaur with the normal Quadratorchosaur in a 2-pack. Said Quadratorchosaur a lot there. And finally, we have a 2-pack featuring Nico O Wheels, that big red SUV, and Lucy Lumgus, that smaller gray coupe with like the bronze wheels, which looks pretty neat. Lights out. Continuing on with that Cars on the Road theme. Starting off, we have Randy, who we know is going to be getting a release later in 2023. Danica Grill Press, who is like the, I guess you could say, what is it, like the hotel worker. Diana Giordano. Here's a picture of the color changer from myself. It's the best picture I could take. And then we have the actual version of the version you see on the back of the card, which is like your stock image basically. Unfortunate that she doesn't appear to be getting a release in 2023 as a single, hopefully in the near future. But she does look pretty neat. She would look pretty neat as a normal diecast. We have Matt Gasberry, this kind of old style car you see at like the ballroom. Michael Mufflernon with the keyboard, this kind of ghost pity with the mustache. We have Mallory Carhut, we know is getting a release in 2023. She's this like ghost that dances with McQueen. Got the Ghost Tractor. The Wraith Rod. Really love that. Hope Wraith Rod gets an actual release soon, even though the Wraith Rod is like a big old diecast that could not fit in a single or deluxe packaging. Maybe it would be cool if they released like longer diecast. It's just one 2-pack, like a single car 2-pack. But unfortunately, they're just going to be limited to multi-packs. We have Ghost Lisa and Ghost Louise. I thought it was interesting. We have two different versions. You have the ghost versions, and then you have like the non-ghost versions. And you will see the non-ghost versions later on. We have seen prototypes of these, so we know they'll be getting a release in 2023, released very soon, presumably in a 2-pack where it is Lisa and Louise. Well, no, it's never officially confirmed that their names are Lisa and Louise, but in the credits there is one person credited as saying Lisa and one person credited as Louise. And given that these are like the twins, they're based on like, I think it's like Alice and Annika maybe, from like the Shining movie. So a lot of people assumed that those were the names of these twins, but those are not listed in the credits. And there was a voice actor who said that they came out and said they voiced, I think it was Louise, and they posted a picture of Mallory Carhut. But now we know that car's name is Mallory, not Louise. So I'm assuming they mistook, they just saw the ghost car and assumed it was one of these two. So I'm sticking with Lisa and Louise. They also theorized that like Lisa was the hotel worker that I named Danica Grill Press. I like the idea that these are Lisa and Louise. That makes the most sense to me. Finally, the last 2-pack, we have Autumn Gearhart, like the Model T, and a Ron Fuel Cell, this older kind of Nikki B style car. Warring Factions. This is the kind of like the Road Rumblers episode of Cars on the Road. I didn't want to name it just Road Rumblers because there is some cars in here that are not Road Rumblers. You remember they're fighting a different like faction or whatever. Starting off, we have Squat on another diecast we see is getting a release in 2023. Got Road Rumbler Lightning McQueen, as well as a Road Rumbler Mater. You have Jeremy. Workload, who is this Road Rumbler right here. Punch, these kind of Bill Revs model. Got like the weapon on the top, the saw is very awesome. Bright is this other, I guess like electric EV kind of faction car. Got this pink Natalie Certain model with the solar panels and the big old like stick. You have Spike, who is this big water tanker with all the spikes on. That's why it's called Spike. Got Nightmare, this RV that has like the three sets of horns. Of course, you gotta have the Chiefess iconic episode or iconic character from that episode. Got a 2-pack featuring Bolt and Bulb. Bolt being that smaller kind of like Yukio model EV, and Bulb being that Jenny Tolan model. Got another 2-pack featuring Fenben, kind of like Superfly, and Crunch, kind of like Floyd Morgan. And then the final 2-pack, the final car is from the Warring Factions line, will be Scrap on the left, who's kind of like a Revo Coast, and Junker on the right, who's kind of like a Broadside, and he is the one that I think he's the one that like accidentally launched the weapon that landed on someone and caused that big old fight. On set, this is basically the term that I'm using for the B-movie episode of Cars on the Road. We have Scientist Mater, who we saw is getting a release as a mini racer. Bella Cadavra, who we've seen is getting a 2-pack release. Haven't seen any loose photos of her yet. This photo has been around for a while, but the 2-pack still has not come out, and we still have not gotten any other stock images of her. We got Latoya Rodon, kind of this like golden Jen Tanzadin model with a headset. Really like that one. Got Deputy Hazard, Lightning McQueen. There should be a second Z in Hazard, I think. That's my fault right there. You will have a new expression. It's a diecast that was only released for the first time this year. I figured might as well give it a new expression already. You have Lance the Rider with computer. He's that car that's like, it was like, don't ask me. Just reading McQueen's lines. And his name actually does appear in the credits of the episode. You have Doug Krenkel. Of course, we do not like Doug. We do not like gray Doug Krenkel. We will be giving Doug Krenkel that corrected, updated, accurate green color, as you can see right here through an edit I made. We have Meg LaDrive, who is this kind of like stunt car. I believe the voice actor came out and said, talked a little bit about her voicing this character. Got Deb Zywheel, this Van and Kerr model zombie. Gunther Bump Draft, the van model zombie. It's kind of like the weird looking teeth, big old brain on the top. Danny Keylock is this like BMW assistant to Bella Cadavra. She's got the headset on the side. Got one of those like good old fashioned single 2-packs where it's a single with 2 cars inside of it that can fit like Luigi and Guido. We have Eugene Volt, that guy who tells McQueen that Queen and Materdor that their like jobs have been taken, and Hope Hinge, that car that officially like hired McQueen in the first place. You've got Jess Carkey, this yellow zombie from when Ivy kind of takes over the show. Tom the Marshal, who is like the sheriff alongside Deputy McQueen. And of course you have musical Ivy to finish it off. She's got like the purple wheels. I assume her wheels are spray painted purple. Got a new yellow paint job and the big like colorful like pink, red, orange, yellow. You can even see a little bit of green up to her brain. Going on, we are going to the truck thing. This is going to be the trucks episode of Cars on the Road. Starting off, we just have a simple road trip Mater. We've got Adam Rodriguez, of course, another diecast. I'm added on here before the pictures. Ricky, a smother wheel. Vivian Honksley, this red and white pickup truck. Brad, a bright rim, who is this like fully blue, light blue, even the wheels appear to be light blue, smoky model. Love that. Florida Beringer, who is this basically just a purple cab. We've got Marwa Mixhall in the episode. The voice of this truck varies. At one point it's like a female voice, and another point it's a male voice. So I think we're just gonna go with the female route because I think that's what it says when she starts like singing or whatever. We've got Brandon Milesworth, this kind of bright green flatter faced truck. Is that the term for like the when it doesn't have like the part that goes out, just like a flat end? We've got Lando Schools, he is that school bus. And for the first time we have a garbage truck in Ella Stink It Up. You have your card art right there. I mean, you can just use that on the card back. Gettin Hitched, the wedding episode. Starting off, we have a Road Trip Cruz Ramirez. We're just gonna give her that name because she already has 2 different names and neither of them make sense. So we're just gonna call her Road Trip Cruz Ramirez. And you can see there, she also has an updated expression. Got Justice Stern, this pity with the big mustache that it was supposed to officiate their wedding before he kind of gave up. I have a Raymond Drift Shift. He is this black Mustang looking very sweet. And in jumper cable, a black Corvette, also looking very nice. A single 2-pack featuring Bruno Spinsort and Carlos Midravsa. 2 of those like assistant pitties that got like the bow ties. They have those like towels. Although those towels I think are only for like that one shot. They also have like scorecards. We'll just release them with the towels or whatever. Got Joey Will Swerve, who appears with that Nebraska license plate when McQueen and Mater are playing, or McQueen and Mato and Mater are playing that like Nebraska game. Keisha Drove, she's that gray Citroen you see. Ron Steershaft, he is a darker blue VW Beetle. Once again, when Mato and Mayday are playing like a game. We have a 2-pack featuring Mato and Mateo. Once again, made before that Mateo stock image was found. So we got Mateo, and we also have Mato. We saw through the stock image that Mato is getting a release this year, but she's going to have like the flower crown on her head. This diecast will not have that flower crown on top of the head. I think that looks really silly, but we will see. We will kind of see that a little bit later. We'll talk about that. But this version of Mato will not have that thing on her head. It'll just be plain old Mato like you see in that picture there. Then finally, we have a 2-pack of River Driftsley and CJ McFrontwheel. Those 2 cars that are trying to like get together at Mato and Mateo's wedding. Next up, got Circus Velocitas. Starting off, we have Kelly Beambright. As you can tell by the very poor quality image right there. This was made before we found that Kelly Beambright stock image, so it's just like a weird picture from when she was like first like leaked or whatever. Got Rolly Polos and Rolly. Love the look of Rolly, love that name. And we have Rolly Polos, who originally was called Bonbright from Trunk Fresh Green 34's custom poster video. I liked that name. And then Kelly Beambright came out, and that was named after the same Pixar employee, which was Kelly Bonbright. So I asked if he wanted to change the name, and he landed on Rolly Polos, which fits pretty well alongside Rolly. It's got plain old Greebles. Got Coco Transmission, who is the Citroen model clown, who only appears in this one shot. I searched the entire episode, and Coco only appears in this one shot where Ivy is like jumping over her. She doesn't appear anywhere else in the episode, not even for a frame. Got Joe Hobbler, this little 3-wheeler. Jody Downpour, this Tinny Speed model clown with the clown nose, which is important to note for later. We have a Rodette Marker, this kind of Suki model clown. That is an official name, though it looks like he did kind of spell it wrong on the left side there. It's spelled right there, though. Only misspelled it wrong on the one where she's bold. That's unfortunate. We have Goggles with Goggles, this Opal, and that with Goggles distinction is once again important for later. You have Trunksy, this kind of Maypillar Duraf model, because a whole bunch of other cars keep popping out of Trunksy's trunk. Amber Schuser, she is this Opal that is part of like, I guess like the teal crew. The cars that have like the teal on their sides, and that they're mostly colored in like a bright tan color with that red design. Peter Tarias, who is once again from Trunk Fresh Green 34. He named that character on his custom poster, and he is the circus stunt biplane. Got a 2-pack between McQueen with the clown nose and this kind of that car that comes with the broom, Sweepy, or Pity rather, not car. Then finally, I mentioned this in my Maypillar Drive video, a very obvious car, or a very obvious 2-pack that for some reason hasn't been released. K Pillar Rev and May Pillar Rev. You can see once again the quality on that May picture is not great because this was made quite a while ago. Next up, we've got Thomasville, and to do that, we'll go to the land down under.
Hello everyone, so it's me, AstroSmokey, and I'll be covering the Thomasville series for my friend Epic Green Thunder. So we've got 12 singles, one of which is a 2-pack with 2 PDs and then one standard 2-pack. So let's get right into it. So first off, we've got River Scott, just plain River Scott, and this would be his first release from Thailand. His last release was in 2017 from China. Then we also got Louise Nash and Junior Moon. Then it'd also be their first releases from Thailand as well, though. None of them have been released since 2017 from China. All released in the same case as River Scott. And then Never Again, it was the final case of 2017. I can't remember the letter though. And then they released With and Without posters and collector cards and all that funky stuff. You've been able to get the Hot Rod and Heyday versions since, all of which are pretty easy to get now, except Louise Nash's. Her heyday version is very hard to find. Only in a Toys R Us exclusive 4-pack. With Junior Moon's original heyday version was the same. Just the newer heyday version is fairly easy to obtain, though. The accurate version. Hot Rod Louise Nash has become somewhat rare as well. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why. Next we got Smokey, and that's just Smokey, nothing really to say about him. Last released was in 2021. Then we've got Jack Roadrunner Jump Throttle, which is the Edwin Cranks looking patron. He is one of the last remaining patrons from the Cotter Pin left to be released, and I think he would actually look very nice. I really wish we got him in the Cotter Pin series in 2019. Big missed opportunity there, but it would be real nice to see him get released one day. Got Xanadu Bumpers, nothing really to say about him. He was released in 2019 in the Cotter Pin series. Same thing with Vanden Kerr, who I believe has become fairly sought after now. But this one actually has a new expression. Don't ask me why, you may have to ask Epic Green Thunder that. But this has his eyes this new release, his eyes are centered, whereas the old one they were looking towards the left or to his right. And we've got Jen Tansedan. Nothing really interesting about her. She was released twice in 2019 on the post-Cars 3 mainline card in Blue Desert. We got Thomasville Cruz Ramirez in the Jackson Storm paint job. She was supposed to be released in late 2018, early 2019, but was cancelled. She's been released as a mini racer, both just regular and glow in the dark. We got Bill Revs. Last like Jen Tansedan, he was released twice in 2019 in the post-Cars 3 mainline and in Blue Desert mainline, both in the Cotter Pin series. Then we've got Darwin Treadtrees, the red pickup. So, like Jack Roadrunner Jump Throttle, he's one of the last Cotter Pin patrons left to be released. It would be real nice to see them do him in the real mainline someday. Hopefully they will. Once they bring a bit of the focus onto the original trilogy back from Cars on the Road, whenever that will be. I'm not sure exactly which model he would be. We got Riley Ridetrip and Bart Sandspiel, and Riley is the bartender and Bart is the waiter, and they're both pitties, so that'd be like a 2-pack, like what you get with Luigi and Guido or the Sashimi twins. Then we've got Andrew Ruman and Jenny Toland, last but not least. That's a 2-pack. They've both been released before as singles. Jenny once in 2019 in the post-Cars 3 mainline. Andrew was released twice in the aforementioned mainline and again later in the year in the Cotter Pin series in the Blue Desert mainline. Now I know Jenny Toland has become quite sought after. I wouldn't be able to speak for Andrew. I wouldn't be able to speak for him. I believe he's become somewhat sought after. He is a really cool model. So I wouldn't be complaining if they re-release him as long as they keep it within reason, obviously. Don't. So both have been released as singles before, but this is the first time that they would be in a 2-pack. So that's all I have to say. Thank you, Epic Green Thunder, for having me on, and on to the next series.
Next up, we have the race fans. Got a whole lot for this one. The only re-release is going to be Milo. Pretty cool, underrated guy. I like him. We have Devontae Swiftpass. He is this Peugeot model. He is a Nigel Gearsley fan. We got Brett Carbridge, this RPM fan. Like that blue color on him and the dual wielding RPM flags. Look pretty sick. Oscar Finish Line Jr. He is this kind of bright gray or almost silver RPM fan with a matching silver flag. Fun fact about this guy, he was actually supposed to be released in real life back in 2017. There was a listing for a silver RPM fan, and this is the only silver RPM fan across all the movies, as far as I'm aware. Fortunately, we didn't even get like a stock image or whatever of it. I have Annika Gone Fast. There's an edit of her. She is this Carla Veloso Fiat fan, like the matching colors. of the green with the Brazil green. Quentin Boostburst, another car I didn't love. This tiny little blue guy watching McQueen fly through the air. You can just barely see McQueen's, mouth almost in that picture of him. Tony Carjacks is this Range Rover. He looks like he's kind of like a green color with a Rip Klitschkonski hat on his head. Joe Roloya is a very cool looking model. Kind of looks like a periwinkle color with that kind of red king flag. Max Spinhouse, this is red minivan with a leakless flag. Really like that color. Freddy Rollbar, looks like that's a Cobra model with a giant chick kick C. Streety Demira, this is another Rip Klitschkonski fan appearing in Tokyo. It's a Toyota 2000 GT, I believe that's the model. Cool looking color, got the Rip hat as well as the new rear India flag. That looks really cool. Moth Cruise Bin is going to be just this kind of gray, almost metallic gray Mini Cooper with a Shu Todoroki hat. Chris Zimmerman, really unique model. We haven't seen any diecast like this. I guess you could say Charlie Checker, but still not the same. In this metallic blue, and you have that king flag. It looks really cool. Georgia Cabriole is a blue leakless fan, once again with a matching blue leakless flag. Molly Botgas, she is a kind of green, almost emerald green color of Corey Turbowitz, and you don't see the full thing in the movie, but you can see the chick kick C is up there, so that'll look really cool. Mario Rattlebox, another really interesting model. He's just a plain gray car. He's got that Lightning McQueen flag. And last but not least, you have your One Deluxe, a new RV in Josh Holhart, kind of like almost a Sid Vanderkamper model, but he actually has an RSN flag, which I thought was pretty funny. Next up, we'll go to SpaniCars to list off some variations of the face of the Cars franchise, Lightning McQueen.
So starting with the list, we have Tumbleweed Lightning McQueen. This is a nice Lightning McQueen. It's not the hardest. Like last time we got it from Thailand was in the Blue Desert line in 2020. So it's a cool one. It's not the best, but I'm glad to have him back. Next one we have Muddy Lightning McQueen. This will be his second release and the first since the Final Lap collection way back in 2010, greatly decreasing his value. So if you already own him, I'm sorry, but you're gonna lose a little bit of the value of the car. But if you don't own him, like me, we got a chance to have this amazing car. So here we have Midnight Run Lightning McQueen. This car was sadly cancelled way back in 2017, and after 6 years, we're finally having him. I just hope that Mattel made him accurate with all the scratches and all the stuff, and I can wait to see him out of the package. Continuing with the list, we have Angry McQueen. This is a re-release of Aggro McQueen, but the name has been simplified. I can say anything. I just love this car. I love the expression that Mattel gave him. In my opinion, it's way better than the Determinate Lightning McQueen that we got in 2016, I believe, 2017, something around those times. But I just love this car. Finally, one of my favorites. So it is, guys, on the road time. And this time we have Queasy Lightning McQueen. This is a new variant of McQueen appearing in the Circus episode of Cars on the Road. And this is just amazing. It's a normal on the road Lightning McQueen, but a different expression. But I just love it. I just love new expressions. So next one we have your regular road trip Lightning McQueen that we got last year. It's not anything new, not new expression or anything like that. It's just the regular road trip Lightning McQueen. A really boring one, but yeah, I mean, thank you Mattel, I guess. Finish Line McQueen. This is a gorgeous car, even though we got him last year as a re-release. But Finish Line Lightning McQueen is one of the most detailed cars, and the expression is just really accurate to what we saw in the movie. And I just love those rims without the tires on the back. It's just perfect. Spin Out Lightning McQueen. So same case as the Finish Line McQueen, we got him last year as a re-release, but it's just an amazing car. The detail, the expressions, the accessories, all the stuff is just amazing. I'm surprised that Mattel gave us this Lightning McQueen with so many details. I appreciate it. So here we have the most basic one, but the most popular one from the list, and it is Lightning McQueen. Your regular and basic Lightning McQueen. I mean, for us, the collectors, we already have like millions of these, but for the new collectors, it's good, you know, they have a chance to get a normal Lightning McQueen, even though they're going to get a lot of duplicates, but still, thank you Mattel. Alright, back with the great stuff. We have Primer McQueen, but this will be the one from the 2017 Radiator Springs Classic line, not the 11-pack version. I mean, it's, in my opinion, I prefer the 11-pack version because of the happy expression and the fun, but that expression is not that bad, you know, even though the eyes looks a little bit wonky, but looks nice and still a nice car. Alright, time for the transforming. Here we have Transforming Lightning McQueen. Same as the Finish Line and Spin Out McQueens. We got him last year as a re-release, but Transforming Lightning McQueen is an amazing car. I love the detail from the Dinoco blue to the Rust-Eze red. It's just amazing, just love this car. Really popular and really classic for the Cars line. So yeah, I mean, glad to have him. I'm so glad to have him back. My bad. So next one we have Fabulous Lightning McQueen. In my opinion, it's not the best Lightning McQueen for me. I don't really like the blue on him, but it's always nice to have him back. Last time we got it was like 2 years ago in 2021 from Thailand. So it's nice to see him back in the line. I mean, I really like this car. It's not my best Lightning McQueen version, in my opinion, but it's nice to have him. So one of my favorites, Rust-Eze Lightning McQueen. What can I say? This was the first Lightning McQueen that everybody saw at the beginning of Cars 3. So it's always nice to see him back. I mean, I love the yellow trim around the rims, and that Rust-Eze logo just looks perfect to me. I really love this paint job. So yeah, I mean, thank you Mattel for bringing him back in the line. I really appreciate it, and thank you. I just love this paint job. So it's time for the best, and it is Party Wheels Lightning McQueen. This release will have the same expression as the 5-pack exclusive Party Wheels McQueen. You know, the regular Party Wheels McQueen, he already has a good expression, but the 5-pack exclusive, it's an amazing expression. He's looking to the right, but he's looking to his right. I mean, what can I say? It's just gorgeous car. He's kind of rare, like I said, exclusive to that 5-pack. I believe it was Porta Corsa, something like that. It's just an amazing pack. Thank you Mattel for bringing him back. Thank you. It's amazing.
You saw all those Lightning McQueens, and just like 2013, we're having a Lightning McQueen series as well as a Mater series. The two always go together. So here we have some of our Maters. Starting off, we got Airport Mater. He's kind of an obscure release from 2013. Figured we'd give him another shot at it. Mater with sign, another kind of forgotten release. Really like the expression on this, and the sign is pretty cool. President Mater, haven't gotten this guy's in normal 155 yet. Hopefully we will soon. A new Cars on the Road car. He wasn't in the on the set line. I figured I'd squeeze him into the Mater's line instead. Got Nervous Mater. I wanted to do some kind of like Nervous Mater from like the Gettin Hitched scene where he's nervous to see Matto. And there wasn't as many pictures as I thought there would be, but this is the best one. Best little shot of like a Nervous Mater. Kind of similar to Airport Mater actually. Next up we have a Zombie Mater once again from the B-movie episode of Cars on the Road. Blowing Bubbles Mater, classic Mater with headset, pretty cool. Sobby Mouth Mater. Got Ivan Mater coming back, first time in a long time. One Eye Mater. Mater with Lamp. This will be the first non-lenticular release of Mater with Lamp. Mater Hosen is back once again, same with Funny Car Mater. And we are also going to get a long-awaited re-release of a Taco Truck Mater. This is always a fun one to do. It's time to go to the drive-in, the movie theater. Got Benny Caliper to start off with. They've had plenty of chances to re-release this guy throughout the years, so we're just going to do it ourselves. Got Buzz Lightyear. So have Woody. We have Ham Center Cut. Yes, that is his last name. Got Flick, PT Flea, and we've basically knocked out all the main, driving cars apart from Sully and Mike, who fortunately did not make the cut. We've got Frank here. He does appear at the drive-in. I thought this would be a fun opportunity to release him. Then got Mac. This version of Mac, you can see I edited it to have a new expression. Looks a little bit goofy, but I'm just happy to have a new expression. Got James McSpin on the left, kind of like a bright gray, bright blue Milo model, and Liza, who is kind of Cora Copper without the camera. On the left you got Rick Gascan, and on the right you have Robin A. Post. Rick kind of looks like Joe Arroyo from earlier, and Robin is like a Kit Revster model, but in dark blue. I really like the look of her. Next up is the boss battle. I didn't know exactly what to name this, but since I figured it was kind of like the final battle in Cars 3, it used to be called London Chase. I didn't really like that. You know what scene I'm talking about. You'll at least know it when I show off the characters. First off, we have Miles Axelrod. Got J. Kirby Gremlin with weapon. He is being uncancelled. Got Andy Gremlin, who is one of the black gremlins. We've gotten a black trunk off before, and we did get Hugo. We got Alexander Hugo with the party hat, of course. We got John Pacer, so now we have all 4 black lemons, apart from like a plain Hugo. Got Vladimir Trunkov with the car boot. Professor Z is making a comeback, first time since 2012. Got Tolga Trunkov. Tubbs Pacer with the paint spray. That's always a fun one. Union Jack Ramone, who I believe was only released in the the 11 pack way back then, so that's a pretty hard to find car. Got Ivan being re-released, not unreleased. Josh Coolant, who waited a really long time to get him. This is too cool of a car to pass up. Got Bryce Schwelper, who is this army truck that has the weapon on the side. I love that Hummer model. And finally, you have a 2-pack between Finn McMissile and Holly Shiftwell. Rust-Eze. This is kind of a broad one. You could either do the Rust-Eze Racing Center or like the Rust-Eze Tent. I decided to drop the last parts of those and just kind of combine them into one. Starting off, we have Lawrence Segundo. Love the look of that minivan, that station wagon. George Wheelius, a kind of rusty white, I guess you could call it like a Linda Weathers model almost. You have Jun Yi, really like him. He's one of the most underrated trainees in my opinion. You got Sterling, of course. You have Trainer Cruz Ramirez. You have Sequoia. Of course, was supposed to be released in 2020, but did not make the cut. There's an edit I did of Sequoia. I mean, I just swapped the yellow on red, so it's not the correct number. You see, it's 83. It should read 28. Ronald, another really cool trainee. Gabriel as well. You have one of those little pity 2-pack singles things with a Shelly Carnita on the left and a Behringer split tire on the right. Getting some of those Rust-Eze Racing Center pitties out there. Corner's Edge, like that model right there. Got Jimmy Blowgasket, who is this rusty, what's his name? JW, that's the name of the car, this rusty JW car. And I really like that edit I did of him, not to toot my own horn, but I think it looks pretty excellent. Love that pattern on him. You have Cornelius Jackson, looks almost like a rusty green car. That's pretty cool. Got Not Chuck with Tool Cart. Got a 2-pack between Rusty Rusties and Dusty Rusties. Then you just have a 2-pack between Jay and Sadeep. Next up, we go to Thunder Hollow. Starting off with just a taco, and he will have this expression. Every car you see in this picture, or in this slideshow, in this video, will have the expression that you see before them. It's not like a weird stock image where this was the stock image of Taco, but the real version of him had some other normal expression. Got Pile Up, Blind Spot, Superfly, Jimbo, Liability, High Impact, and Tailgate. Those are kind of your main 8 single racers this time around. You got Christina Ramone, a kind of blue Gentana model with some gray rust spots. Look at that. Clark Rollerty, he is a yellow Hugo with a camera. Once again, another edit I really like the look of. Got Janet Wheelden, who was the car that Clark was taking a picture of in front of the Thunder Hollow sign. Looks like a muddy car. Got Dante Oliver, who is this Thunder Hollow tow truck. Really like that one. It's got a single release of Sig Alert, and there is her art. Really like the look of that. We haven't gotten to see it yet. It's got a re-release of Mr. Drippy, who was gotten oddly rare recently. Of course, you have the main 3 in RV, Dr. Damage, and Miss Fritter. And finally, you have a 2-pack of Fishtail and T-Bone, 2 other Demolition Derby racers that we haven't seen art of yet, or at least on the car back. We have the art for Fishtail, as you can see there. We don't have any official art for T-Bone, but hopefully when he gets released, he will have some art. This is a cool one, Doc's Racing Days. Starting off, you got Buford Camshaft. This is who Darren Ledford was supposed to be imitating in the Thunder Hollow line. Of course, that 5-pack that he was exclusive to was canceled. I do have one though. That's pretty neat. Leroy Hemming, of course. Got William Carley, this really cool looking black Gent Robinson model with a big 8 painted on the side. Rusty Dipstick, the car that Punchy Wipeout was supposed to be. Ducky Fauntleroy being re-released. Of course, that was a 2021 car. Got Heyday Louise Nash being re-released. That is a re-released, I said. She was released in 2017 in the Cars 3 line in a very, very hard to find 4-pack alongside, I believe it was a Heyday Junior Moon. They both did not really look that great. Louise looked a little bit better. But we'll be doing a full overhaul. This will be an actual Heyday Louise Nash with bright colors, all brighter, no dirt. It'll look really neat, and this will be the first official release. Just like how, even though Heyday Junior Moon got his first actual real release in 2019, there was one previously, but it just looked terrible and inaccurate. Got Floyd Morgan coming back again, Jimmy Lugwrench. And we will actually correct him just because the diecast is not fully accurate. The top should be that top part, it's kind of separated by a line. Should be a gray, a darker gray, or maybe even a green color. So we'll fix that. Joe Don Jackson coming back. Gordon Anderson is this kind of white, not Jimmy Lugwrench, what's his name? Ducky Fauntleroy model. Got Billy Wheelson. This is a cool looking old pickup truck. He looks pretty neat. I love that blue color, or the 2 tones of blue. He's got the thing in the back of his trunk, or his trunk bed, He has like a little like plywood bumper. I thought that's pretty neat. Got Bo Rimsworth. He is this ambulance that is on the scene of Doc's crash. And then finally you have just dirt track fabulous Hudson Hornet, or as you know him, Doc Hudson. Going to London town now. Got Charles Drunged. That is the white taxi, and that is a custom that Mr. Docket has of him. I thought it looked pretty neat. Did a pretty good job on that custom. Got M. Fenderickson coming back, kind of an obscure car. It's pretty neat. Becca Crumrev, who is this kind of gray Ford Fusion on the side of the road. Scott Motors coming back again. Arjan Mosley, or Arhan, I'm not exactly sure which one it is this pink Honda. That is just a really neat color. You can't hate on that. Dave Hodgeworth is this blue taxi. We're hitting all the taxi colors in this one. Got Princeton Azrak. Looks like another Ford model. This time with a British flag and a Nigel Gearsley hat. Got Steph Spiolato, a white Range Rover. That's a pretty fun expression too. Ariana Springspeed is this kind of darker blue metallic Mercedes. Youth Bomb Mater, classic release. And you have Topper Deckington III getting a re-release. Next up, this is a very fun one, the Dinoco Daydream. Starting off with Transforming Chick Hicks, we got Transforming McQueen, now it's time for a Transforming Chick Hicks. That is another custom diecast of him you see down there. We have Kavya Lime Juice. I really like this car. This is probably my personal favorite car that I found while doing this video. She is a very bright green Swift alternator model, and she has the dual wielding like brown gaskets flags. Very cool expression, and she does only appear in the Dinoco Daydream as like Chick Hicks like crosses the line or whatever. It looks really cool. I did forget to highlight the names on the left side on those two, it looks like, unfortunately. Right next to Kavya you have Samantha Tollfair. It looks like a Christina Garcia model in like a bright blue color with a king flag. Love that one. This got a standard Dinoco Lightning McQueen. You have Tex Dinoco. You have Juan Freshride, who is this Breakboyd model cameraman. Looks like a little bit of a darker blue, who takes pictures of both Chick Hicks and McQueen when they get their new paint jobs. Got Bling Bling Lightning McQueen. Of course, we will correct him this time. Have the King, of course. Scott Aeroloose is this cameraman. Ash Peel Out is this SUV you see trying to escape from the spark plug monster. Unfortunately, just a few frames later, he was vaporized. Got Rotor Turbo Sky, the Dinoco helicopter. You have Alexi Dillon and Carrie Lane. We are giving the Dinoco Showgirls actual names this time instead of this Dinoco Showgirl 1, Dinoco Showgirl 2. They are now Lexi and Carrie, of course, with their respective last names. Then finally we have a two-pack featuring James Drive Shift and Kaylee Gears. Kaylee being that kind of, that grill looks really, or that front bumper looks really goofy on Kaylee. Looks pretty neat though. I love the red color. And James Drive Shift is that that microphone car in the back that you see, and that is once again another custom diecast of James. Trading Paint. This is a really fun one. You guys would probably like this one if you are NASCAR fans. We got Erased Aiken Axler. He will come with all the race damage that you see in that picture. Got Erased Brush Kerber once again, coming with all that damage, those tire marks, all that build up on the front there. Track Damage Cruz Ramirez. Race Damage Ernie Garrison, kind of similar to a Race Damage Chuck Armstrong where he's all bent up in the back. This will be a fun release. Erased Kevin Shiftright. You can see all like the battle scars on the front for being in that crash. Very cool. I have Raced Davey Apex. This is the best shot I could get of him. You can kind of see it's like mid-transition to another frame. But he has like blue and pink or purple paint all over that rear end from the crash. You can actually see him get it in the movie. Also has some other various scrapes. Got a race damaged Lightning McQueen, another Mr. Docket custom, same with race damaged Doc Hudson. We have race Billy Oil Changer. This is before he got slammed into by the other group of cars. You can see all the scratches along his right side here. We got a little bit of like an exhaust burn by that exhaust. That's really neat. Raced Winford Bradford Rutherford. Once again, you can see scratches all along his left side and even on his like tires and whatnot. We have a 2-pack between race damaged Chuck Armstrong and a tow truck Tom. This would be a really neat one to see, if anything's possible. I think if they're gonna re-release race damaged Mood Springs, they might do it in this 2-pack. That'd be really cool. And then you have race damaged Todd Marcus and race damaged Claude Scruggs with all the damage you can see here. And they, of course, were canceled a multitude of times back in 2010. Ramone's Paint Shop. This might not be what you think it is, and I believe this is the last of the mainline for this video. It still goes on for a little bit longer, or a lot longer rather. This is not what you think it is. This is just kind of an excuse for me to release some Disney Store cars as Mattel diecasts. First though, you have On the Road Ramone. I couldn't really figure out a place to fit this guy in normally, because, well, Radiator Springs is only in On the Road for like 2 minutes max, and Ramone is the only like car that's different, so I couldn't put him into like whole series. I didn't want to put him into Radiator Springs. I figured I'd fit him into the Ramone's paint shop line, and that is a very neat paint scheme right there. Got patriotic Jeff Corvette. Love the look of the American flag, just like draping him almost. Have ghostly Greta, who is just Greta, but the flames are different colors, and of course she's got a little bit of a different expression here. You have Tie-Dye Fillmore, who's gotten both a Disney Store and a Mini Racer release. As you can see, they are kind of different. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Disney Store version, and we're just going to put the pattern on the Mini Racer on the top of the Disney Store version. That way, they're fully combined. You have Pinstriped McQueen. Now, a lot of these are not going to be the best quality photos because they're old Disney Store releases. You can't really find good stock images of them. You have Stealth Finn McMissile, a full matte black Finn McMissile. Got Cobra Lightning McQueen. That's pretty neat. You have Gunmetal McQueen, who was basically, I think it was just like silver Hot Rod McQueen, but I want to change up the name. Got Stars and Stripes McQueen. I even love like the new wheels that are on this guy. Got Speedster Ramone, who I think is actually just like Drag Racer Ramone, but I didn't want to get it confused with the Drag Racers line that Mattel already did back in like 2018, 2019. Got Hot Rod Gen Tansidan. This is just a funny edit I made a long time ago. I figured I'd throw it in this series to get it released. Just normal Gen Tansidan with some flames on her hood as well as a giant engine block. Have Assassin Finn McMissile. Wasn't exactly sure what to call this one. That's just a really neat paint job on him. Got Hot Rod Fillmore, once again kind of like a drag racing version of Fillmore. Got Flame McQueen. This is a Tomica release. Got Hot Rod Dinoco McQueen, and in this picture it is actually metallic. That's pretty cool. Got Phantom Lightning McQueen. Wasn't exactly sure what to call this one again. I think they do have official names, but they're not like really well known. I couldn't find it. You have Flamin' Red, who was a Mini Adventures car. Then we're going to end it off with three versions of Mater. First off, you have Souvenir Vendor Mater. You have Ice Cream Truck Mater. I really like that one, but my personal favorite is Lightning Mater, the Drag Racer Mater, but in like full Lightning McQueen deco. And I guess this is technically the last of the main line. We have some Super Chases. Got Penelope Portrait, looks like a Mo Revlin model with a headset. Got the microphone, and there's also no grill. It kind of makes it look like an EV. I really like the look. Got Lotus Cedar Star. This is like an unidentified model that appears in Cars 3, and you can't tell exactly what it is because I don't think any other models in the movie match it. So I thought it kind of looked like a Lotus Esprit, and just because we never see it, we're just gonna pretend it's a Lotus Esprit. That's one of my favorite cars of all time. One of the later generations of the Lotus Esprit. So this is a Lotus Esprit. I'm saying it right now, and that's gonna be a cool looking diecast. got Muhammad Tekum, who is this kind of security officer at the Florida 500. You have Kazuya Tire Set, a metallic blue Toyota, or Datsun rather. They're kind of interchangeable, they both look very similar. You have Mike Scaravan, who is basically van, but with no grill. I thought it looked really scary, honestly. And finally, you have Zach Rotor Spin, Professor Z's helicopter, that does appear in Cars 2, as you can see on the top right, but you get a better look at Zach in Cars 2, the video game. Now we get into some multi-packs, and there are a lot of multi-packs. Starting off with the 3-packs. We have the Aliens 3-pack featuring Ghost, Lightning McQueen in the middle, have the Mossy version of Ivy, and you have, I thought this would be a fun release, Spooked Clutch Humboldt from that one shot in Cars on the Road. You have the Trunkov Family 3-pack featuring Vladimir Trunkov in the middle, Petrov Oilsky, and yes, that is his official name. It's not just Petrov Trunkov, his official last name is Oilsky. And on the left, you can see Ludwig Zavi, the rusty brown Trunkov that gets, I believe, killed by Fenwick missile in that Tokyo scene. There's only 2 3-packs, now we're into the 4-packs, and there's a lot more of those. We have the Truckies 4-pack featuring Aaron Kindefast, who we did see as a mini racer right there. We have Tyler Nichols in the bottom right, with that weird looking grill that has started popping up recently. Got Gary Zeemless, who is that green and orange truck. It may look a little yellow in that picture, it might be. We do know that the mini racer's name is Gary from a Get Me Collectibles list, and I figured I'd give it a last name. And we got Cassandra Syntrax, who was that fully teal cab on the right. Here we have a fun one. It is the old versus new 4-pack featuring Grant Greenlight and Gary Glassbed, both of who you saw earlier. You can see them up there, the edits I made of them. Then you have Edwin Cranks in the bottom right, and then the only new car technically will be Larry Sprinklefin, who is the old version of Gary Glassbed. And in the top left, you can see the picture comparing the two scenes. Edwin talking to Larry, and Grant talking to Gary. I just realized that Gary and Larry kind of line up. I did not intend for that to happen. We have the Before the War 4-pack. I didn't know what to call this one. I think that does pretty well. I didn't know what to call the diecast, but once again, I think it works out. We have Old School Cap'n Longleggy, who is the normal ice cream truck. That looks really sick. We have Old School Squat, who looks to be the Harumi model, but fully yellow. We have Old School Slingshot, who is a road rumbler that we will talk about later. I haven't officially talked about his road rumbler version, but we will later, and that you can see right there is Slingshot. Then you have Old School Jeremy right there. You can tell that's him by his bright blue color right there. We have a Road Trip 4-pack. You could name half of the 4-packs this. I figured this was the one that fit it best. You have Mossy Ivy once again. You have Road Trip Lightning McQueen. You have Mossy Mater, which is Mater when Ivy's moss flew off onto him. And then you have Jonah Owl Howl, who was this brown truck that you saw go by on the highway looking all confused when Ivy drove by. Here's a fun one, no new releases, but I really like this one. It is the High in the Sky 4-pack featuring M.A. Brake Drum, Brake Boyd, and their child, Coriander Wide Track. This also features Stu Bop the Jet. Kind of you have, so you have the family, and then you have the Jet. This also, I guess this could have been a 5-pack with Marco, but it's not. We have the Whale Wash 4-pack featuring Ivy, of course. Got a Road Trip Maynard and a Road Trip McQueen. And then the new release for this one is going to be Bryant the Third. It'll come with that little radio you see on the table there. Bryant the Third is the pity that works at the Whale Wash and has music playing. This is another fun one. You got Doc. I think it's not fun. It's just kind of cool. You have Doc's Crash 4-pack featuring, of course, Race Damage Doc Hudson. You got Bo Rimsworth as seen earlier. Got Thad Shiftward, who is another like medical car. Looks like a Joe Don Jackson model with a siren on his roof. And you just have Heyday Smokey. This is a cool one. Rock Fans 4-pack. There will be some Mater the Greater multi-packs. We won't get into the tunes until a little bit later. This one features Ronnie the Rocker. You can see in the bottom left that's where Rocky appears in the short. It's just his roof. You have a Declan Darklight, kind of a smaller car with a whole bunch of spikes, painted all black, looking neat. And you have Heavy Metal Mia and Tia, so two of the coolest variants of Mia and Tia. You can see both of them in the top right up there. Got the King's Highway 4-pack now, featuring the Cars 3 version of Mac, the Cars 3 version of McQueen, even though that doesn't actually fit the scene. Actually, does it? It might. I think it does. You have Scott Tiller coming back, one of probably my favorite like deluxe car of all time, if not at least top 3. And the new release for this one is down there in SUV. Taylor Tyrrell, looks like a black SUV. You have the Bullring 4-pack of Padres, only re-release for this one. You have Cardinal Tommaso, who is this kind of like, I believe they call it like the Ultra Boy Pity, similar to Cardinal Antonio, and I forgot the other Cardinal's name actually. And then you have Senorita Mia and Tia getting their long-awaited release. Then we get into the 5-packs. I have a 5-pack featuring Brendan Gonfast, a new race fan. Another new race fan in Henry Wheelace, kind of a gray SUV. And then you have the 3 competitors from the Los Angeles 500, Chick Hicks, Lightning McQueen, and The King. We have the Cotterpin Band 5-pack. We have Rich Hurry, Pam Wheeldaro, Robert Jam Jones, Sweet Tea. And then the new release for this one is Sid Smithley, one of the Cotterpin patrons, a Hugo. Leisurely Drive 5-pack. I didn't need individual pictures for this one because they all appear in the exact same shot. Got Dirty Lightning McQueen, Dirty Blue Grit, Dirty Sandy Dunes, Dirty Shifty Sidewinder, and Dirty Idle Threat from the scene in the Radiator Springs 500.5 after they come back to Radiator Springs after being blasted with some of the most treacherous conditions. Cold, dirt, cactuses, all that stuff, and they're just completely decimated. Here we have a fun one, the Tokyo Taxis 5-pack featuring Bob Poli, Sunji Go, Shane Sunseeker, Forrest Go Fuel, and Kaito Petrie. You can see edits I did of all those right here. I just changed some colors up on Bob Poli's stock image, but here you can actually see all of the cars where they appear in the movie. So of course you have Shane Sunseeker, who looks like a red taxi. You have Sunji Go, who is an orange taxi. It looks a bit yellow there, but you can't tell it's actually orange. Kaito is that bright green one, and Forest is the dark green one. And don't pay any attention to the edits, I just want to have them in there. They will actually look how they do in this picture, so it won't be just like a plain dark green. It will be the dark green plus, the lighter green on Forest and whatnot. They'll look accurate to the movie. Here we have the Cryptid Busting 5-pack featuring Cryptid Buster Lightning McQueen and Cryptid Buster Mater, 2 releases we've seen already. Another release we've seen already in Griswold. We have Margaret Motorray, who is the Land Rover, and there's an edit I did of her, probably my best edit to date. And you have Clutch Humboldt, the RV. Now we get into the 7-packs. Got the Lights Out 7-pack featuring Mallory Carhut, Lisa and Louise, Road Trip Lightning McQueen, those are all cars you've seen before, and then some new releases in Drew Backfire, the ghost version of Randy, which you see at the end of the episode when he's kind of protruding out of the painting, and Autumn Gearhart once again. Here we have the Wedding Day 7-pack. Nas Turnton with the keyboard. He is the Pity playing the keyboard, of course. Reagan Road Rip is that old style white car down there that's featured at their wedding. We have Mato with flowers. I believe I was talking about it earlier, how I didn't want the diecast of Mato to have the flowers on it. So we're just going to release it with no flowers. Of course, the real life diecast will have the flowers, unfortunately. But this will be there will be 2 separate releases. The normal single is just plain old Mato, and the version in the 7-pack is Motto with the flowers. Of course, you have Mateo, Road Trip Mater, Road Trip McQueen, and a Road Trip Cruz Ramirez. The Garage Band 7-pack, this is a fun one. All 7 new releases. You have Garage Band Mater, the version of Mater from when he was just playing with the gas caps. Same with Garage Band Eddie, Garage Band Rocky, and Garage Band Eric, who is the drummer, and we'll learn once again more about him later. Then you have Top Down Mia and Top Down Tia from there when they're working at the Top Down truck stop. Once again, 2 very cool designs on them. Then you have Hunter Colt Hall, who was one of, I guess, the spectators at the Top Down truck stop watching their performance. The McQueen is Missing 7-pack. Got Dan Schlarkenberg and Kim Carlins, 2 of my personal favorites. Got Skip Richter. You have Chucky. You have Mac. All of those are, cars that are working on covering the story of McQueen missing. Or I guess Mac was just kind of involved with it. He was the one that was there when he first was discovered missing. And the new car for this one is Naomi Signoff, a yellow Valerie Beat model, I think, camera car. Here's the Tokyo Broadcast 7-pack. We have Brent Mustangberger, Daryl Cartrip, both, of course, the Cars 2 versions. We have David Hobbscap without the headset. We have Tomiko, Okuni, and Shigeko, all those, Japanese girls. And the new release for this one is Charlotte Carson's with the camera. You can see on the bottom right the RSN Pity with that giant camera used to broadcast Brent, Daryl, and David to the world. The Roadwork 7-pack features Sheriff, Bessie, Lightning McQueen with Shovel. Those are all pretty cool ones. Bessie, of course, is a very rare car nowadays. And then you have Tar DJ, Tar Snot Rod, Tar Boost, and Tar Wingo. Once again, cars that were canceled way back a long time ago. And those have had several customs made of them across the years. The Tokyo Face-Off 7-pack is a fun one. Starting off, you got Tokyo Mia and Tia, as you can see on the top right. You have Kabuto with Flames is getting a re-release, just like he is in 2023. You have Tokyo Mater with Flames, once again getting a re-release. I guess this is the first official release, because I think the one with Flames is actually metallic. I don't quite remember. And the new cars are Rabenda, Shiokes, and Barahata, as you can see left to right, down in the bottom corner. Visitor Center 7-pack. You have Laura Axelbox, of course, the blue kind of tour. Katie Grafrad, the purple kid. Will Floret, the green kid. Judy Sideswipe, the red kid. Leah Vectire, the white car down there. And you have Penny Howard, who's the chaperone car, kind of blue and rusty. Then, to make it a 7-pack, we throw in the Pit Stoposaurus, who is kind of showcased at the Visitor Center. Street of London 7-pack. We have Chauncey Fairs, of course, alongside Charles Strunge and Dave Hodgeworth, who we both saw earlier. Then you have Tony Rodenast. You can see up there, he is a red taxi, but that is the best shot of him we get. So now we have 4 different taxi colors. You have Marcos Revaret. Marcos Revaret. He is another taxi. You can see he is a slightly different model with a different expression, different colored eyes than Chauncey Fairs. Eric Tyreslar is kind of that magenta Honda. And Jürgen Fastfly is that red Mini Cooper down there. Next up, we've got the 11 packs, the biggest that they will be getting up to. We've got 4 of them, starting off with a Road Rumblers 11 pack, featuring, not all the Road Rumblers, a whole lot of them though. We've got Petrol Spark, you see, looks like kind of a Mallory Carhut model. Got Captain Longleggy, of course, absolutely awesome car. Got Rust Belt, a new Road Rumbler. Got Slingshot, who we talked about a little bit ago. That is the Road Rumbler version of Slingshot. You have Blaze, who is that pity with that big horn. And he made that loud noise, so it was pretty neat. Got the Chiefess, of course, the head of the Road Rumblers. And then those final 4 spots are filled out with Crumple, Flatten, Pancake, and Squish. Now you see there, Crumple is one of the those Volkswagen Beetles that are kind of, carrying the Chiefess around. Sorry, I forgot her name. Same with Squish. He's like the one you see up front, and then Flatten and Pancake are the ones in the back. You don't see them as well. They are all pretty much the same exact shade of green, even though it looks like Crumple is like gray. That's just because of the lights reflecting off of him. But they are all those like, I guess, cars that are being forced into slavery, basically having to carry the Chiefess around everywhere she goes. And then I do notice that if you look at the list of cars in this pack, Squat is listed, but there isn't a picture of Squat. I guess I forgot to include Squat in here, but Squat will be included in this 11 pack. Next up, you have the Circus Velocitas 11 pack featuring Hallam Haynes, of course, being released in a 2 pack with Claire Gunzer, you see in the upper right hand corner. Got Tom Foolery and Cheyenne Fieldgauge, 2 of those pretty much identical Beetles. You can only really tell them apart based on their expression. It looks like all their colors are the same, all their designs. The only difference in color is caused by the lighting. So they're pretty much identical, so we'll give them different expressions to tell them apart. You got Goggles, of course, but unlike the single release, which was Goggles with Goggles, this time it's just Goggles, because you will not have the goggles in this 11 pack. Okay, Amber Schuser coming back. Ariel Dunkett is that minivan that has that like blue, red, and tan kind of design. Got a Royal Lane Change, who is the, I guess, you could call that maybe the, what's a car that has that model? The Denise Beam model that has that same design. Then you got Bamboozle, who is very similar to the other clown of that model, but she does not have the nose, and she has a different design on the sides, of course. You have Stiltbug, who is that VW Beetle on the stilts, and he will come with those stilts. We'll see if we can, we'll get them as high as they can go within that packaging. Then you have Flippy, you can see is a kind of Guido model pity with a blue and white design similar to Amber Schuser or Ariel Dunkett. He was doing tricks up with Hallam in the episode, I believe. This is a very fun one. Here is the Mater the Greater 11 pack. Of course, you have to have Mater the Greater in the pack named Mater the Greater. You got Josh Grilden, who was one of the fans. Looks like a Derek Williams model with those buck teeth. And Linus Tire Tip and Chris Trackster are 2 kind of, I guess, camera cars. Both have the cameras on their right hand side. Both are pretty interesting, kind of, I guess, flat and bland colors, at least in terms of their specific respective area. Like that's a flat blue, that's a pretty boring brown, and they both have really cool hats, which I thought was really neat. You don't really see a whole lot of those in the Cars universe. Then you have multiple of those rusty cars that Mater jumped over. You have Ben Rhodes, you have Ed Shiftley, Caden Shortcut, Dave Paston, Parker Parking It, that station wagon, Corey Right Turn, Lawless Crick Gear, and that will do it for the rusty cars. Very cool. That is pretty nice. That's like the Patty model. Ben is kind of the Jonathan Shiftworth. Caden, I can't quite tell. Dave is kind of like a Skip Richter. Parker is kind of like Bill Revs. Corey is kind of like Lauren Segundo, that car we saw earlier. Looks like Lawless is kind of like a Donna Pitts. Then we have a very full page for the final 11 pack, the Return to Radiator Springs 11 pack. Start off, we just have Radiator Springs, Ramone, you can see on the bottom left. You got Holly Shiftwell with Dent, you can see that dent in her pack towards her rear left wheel. Got Kachal McQueen, got Mater's Rockets finally getting released, that one's long awaited. Got the Cars 2 variations of Mia and Tia. I don't remember if they actually appear in the movie like that because you can't really see them well enough. They do appear in the movie. I don't know if it's with those specific paint schemes, but we'll do it just because they get like a 118 diecast release. Got the Cars 2 variation of Minnie. There's an edit I did of her. It's not perfect, but it kind of encapsulates an expression change. Got Revney and Garlante. Of course, have the Cars 2 variant of Van. Got Peyton Thunder tires, that light green VW Bug, and you have Tana Ruda, that red sedan. Now we get into a classic line that we have not seen for a very long time in real life. The Radiator Springs Classics. It's been since, I believe, 2017. It's almost, or it is about 6 years since you've last seen them, but they're back now. Got Valerie Vita, of course. Feel like she would be the perfect car for this line. Got Derek Decals Dobbs. Love him. Kevin Racing Tire, if you remember, the Radiator Springs Classic line was cars that had to do with like Radiator Springs and racing. It's pretty much, to be fair, it was just kind of random cars from the first Cars movie. Got Floyd Mulvihill, JW, who got his first official release in this line in a 3-pack. I believe it was in this line. It was a 3-pack of this line after he was canceled in 2010. I believe that's the story. Got Greta, Mario Andretti, Intro Ramone, one of the best Ramone variants in my opinion. J Limo making a long-awaited comeback. Got Dexter Hoover with a green flag. Got Dinoco Chick Hicks, Derek Williams, Jonas Rivera, Leroy Traffic, and we are going to be correcting him to that gray color. If you remember, both the release of Leroy Traffic and the release of Leroy Traffic with snow tires, the 2021 version, he's kind of like a pinkish purple color, and that is not accurate. In the movie, he should be a gray, like the original variation of Leroy Traffic with snow tires. That's accurate. But the first version of him, the original, has not been corrected yet. So here's a quick little edit I did. It just kind of takes the color all out of it. And this is basically what that diecast would look like and what it should look like. Got Liam Scrapejet, this gray sedan. Got Afton Cruise Control, looks like kind of a red Darla Vanderson without the hat. Got Siren Carlinks, there's an edit I attempted of him. I wish it turned out better because this is a really cool looking race fan of the King. Got Roof Flap Lightning McQueen from that scene where he's driving backwards and his roof flaps are up trying to keep him from doing a blowover. Got Saludos Amigos Ramone, another really cool Ramone variant. Got Kathy Copter, Polly Polo Jumper, one of my personal favorite race fans. Got DJ, of course. Got the whole Tuners Gang, Snot Rod, Boost, and Wingo. Got Duff Rex, another car I think is pretty well fitted to this line. Same with Bertha Butter's wagon. Got Pick Remember Sorrows, kind of a forgotten variant. And then we get into the Cars tunes. This is a fun one. Starting off with Mater the Greater. Got Stunt Mater to start off. I know I called him Mater the Greater just earlier. I feel like those two names I can just use interchangeably. Got Daredevil McQueen. Scott Lee Comptread is this cameraman that has a very, very weird model. I have no clue what's going on here. Got a 2-pack between Lug and Nutty. I've got High Dive Mater. Got Buck the Tooth Fender, always liked this guy as a kid. Props McGee. And then we get into Moon Mater. We have Autonaut Mater, Autonaut Lightning McQueen. Then finally we are going to release Impala XII. I said Impala, I don't remember what they called them. I just was writing down the names of the cars. So there's the Disney Store release on the right. That's basically what our diecast will look like. That is a Disney Store diecast I actually still have. That's pretty neat. We have Charles Jolsky, the Nazca truck, which did actually get a release back in the Take Flight line, but it was just titled like Nazca truck. This time we're giving him an official name, Charles Jolsky. We have kind of his partner in crime, Kyle Crashtain, the other Nazca truck. Got Brock Gearden, who is this pink Vanden Kerr model that Mater was towing, and that's how he was discovered. Got a singles 2-pack between Matt Carterley on the left and Rick Gaslowski, two of the pitties in kind of the, I guess, control center, you could say. You just have Dusty Lightning McQueen from the scene at the end where Roger blasts off and leaves McQueen kind of like dirty, filled with dirt and I guess ash from all the fire. Speaking of flying, unidentified flying Mater. Got Materdor, of course, classic. Brett Pullum is this car that appears at the beginning of the episode. He's getting his like hubcap pulled off and ends up going flying. And there's an edit I attempted of him. It didn't turn out too well. The mouth is very wonky, but you get the general idea of the car in that picture from the episode. You have a very interesting variant of Fillmore, Tripping Fillmore, and this will come with an oil can. Got Captain Moonier, same with Corporal Kim. Jake Crankham is kind of this Andy Gearstar model. Looks like we'll give him an expression change from that canceled Andy diecast, and he also has that UFO logo on the side. Love that, that's pretty neat. Got a singles 2-pack between a Dr. Albert and a Dr. Mills. I try to name these guys after the name tags that you see. You can clearly see Dr. Albert's says Dr. Albert. Dr. Mills, you can't see it very clearly. It kind of looks like it says Dr. Mills, but you can't quite tell exactly what it says because it wasn't ever shown in high enough definition. But I figured it looked close enough to Mills, and I felt like Dr. Mills was a pretty acceptable name. It matches what the name tag kind of looks like, and it's a pretty nice name. Of course, you just got Dr. Absupperwagon, aka Mater in disguise. Got Paul Kligerman, and he is one of the open bed military Hummers. Then we go on to Mater Private Eye. Of course, got Private Eye Mater, classic. Shame we never got any diecast in real life from this episode. Lieutenant Lightning McQueen. Got Big D, very interesting name. Got Stinky, of course, the garbage truck. Got Carmen, and I will note all these cars will come in black and white. Got Elliot on the left, Saul in the middle, and Casey on the right, all with their respective instruments. Got Clyde and a Marshall gear lift. Clyde on the left, Marshall on the right. Marshall having those like cards, that's pretty cool. And we got Claude, who is this big old Muggsy Lifts model that kind of kicks Mater out of the little bar or whatever. Then we get into Monster Truck Mater, starting off with Abbott, one of the announcers, and his partner in crime, Artie. Got Dr. Fieldbad, the Tormentor, of course, Mater. Got Wrestling Mater, which is the version of Mater from before. He kind of like makes it big. He's this plain old Mater wearing like a mask. Got Spencer, the referee, finally giving him an official name. Got the Ice Screamer. Got Captain Collision, aka my friend Nico. Got the Rust-Eze, Patty O Concrete, another cool release. It looks pretty neat. I never really noticed that he's actually like an orange truck. He's just wearing a green kind of outfit over it. Got Kurt Driveberry, this fan in the stands. Looks kind of like a magenta colored Van Kerr with a Tormentor tow hook and flag. And we've got the Tormentor's biggest fan, Dr. Frankenwagon, very cool, and Frightening McMean. Well, note, plenty of these pictures are not of the actual Mattel diecasts. They are of like other diecasts. Like I don't believe this is the Mattel release. It's some other brand. I don't think it's the Disney Store. I know the Ice Creamer picture was Disney Store, but I don't think this one was the Disney Store. They will be, of course, just Mattel diecasts. I'm just using these pictures to give you a general idea of where the car is. Then we got Heavy Metal Mater. This is a fun one. Lots of cool cars in the stands for this one. Starting off with Heavy Metal Lightning McQueen, alongside Heavy Metal Mater. Got Dex. I will note a lot of these pictures are in low quality because I made this slideshow almost entirely on a Chromebook back when I was in school. Of course, now it is the summer, at least at the time we're recording it is the summer. So I was doing these on a Chromebook, which has a much smaller screen, so the images looked much higher quality. And I'm just trying to stretch these as big as I could, coupled with the fact that a lot of these cars don't have good quality stock images. You can tell what character it is, like here with Dex. It's just not the best quality. He is pretty pixelated, so sorry about that. Got Eddie and Hiraki. We got Eric with drums. Eric was just the name I gave this drum pity. Got Blake Brakes and Garrett Parkins. Blake on the left and Garrett on the right. Some of those like studio pitties. Got Maya La Joyride with the weight, the kind of pity that comes in and says, "Where you want this heavy metal, Mater?" Got Music Video Mater. That is one of my only Heavy Metal Mater diecasts I have, and it's very neat. Really love it. check out my review if you want to. Got Declan Darklight, of course he was in that 4-pack we saw earlier. Have Spiller Scrape Trap, who is the car that Mattel thought was Ronnie the Rocker, but it's not. It's like a Linda Weathers model in chrome with a heavy metal Mater design on the front hood. I really like that. You got spikes and like black paint on the sides. This would be a really cool diecast. Got Todd Karsfer, who is a black, almost like a Dan Schlarkenberg model, but it looks, I can't quite tell, almost like, it's like, I think that's a Jenny Toland model actually. You can't really tell, with like spikes on the side as well as a whole bunch of spikes up on the roof. Then of course we have plain old Ronnie the Rocker. Got Denny Truereck, who is, I guess you could say this would be like a Timothy two-stroke model, just in all black. Got AJ Zoom Train, a pickup truck, you can see painted all black. It looks like it has some kind of heavy metal maters thing on the hood, as well as the door and some spikes on the rear bed. Rescue Squad Mater is up next. Got the Rescue Squad Chopper, of course. Got the Rescue Squad Trooper. And the Rescue Squad Ambulance. Got Blaine Piston Chop, this car that is like, fire, someone call Rescue Squad Mater. Got Nurse GTO, really cool model, like that one as a kid as well. Dr. Mater with the mask up. Got Rescue Squad Mater, of course, he is the title sake. I think I said that correctly. Got Nurse Corey. Got Burnt Lightning McQueen. We have Joe Racebun, who was one of the reporters on the scene. Cool little like yellow Burt model. You got Lauren Brake Clutch, a forest green, I guess that is a sedan. I can't quite tell what model. I would assume it's kind of like a Chuck Manifold or Skip Richter. I think it's actually a Skip Richter. Tokyo Mater. This was, in my opinion, the most fun part to do of the whole time, because I wanted to, for all these I wanted to include as many cool cars as possible. I never set a limit for myself unless it was getting to like 60 cars. I wasn't going to do that. I have to make it at least somewhat realistic. But Tokyo Mater, I wanted to release everything that hadn't been released before, almost all of the background cars so you haven't seen. So I nailed, I think, pretty much all of them in the episode in here. So it was fun to go through the episode and not only see these cars for the first time, because honestly most people aren't looking through the episode picking through it for certain designs and cars. So I was seeing a lot of these characters for the first time doing this. So I not only find those cars, but to search through the episode to find the best angles of them, try to find the best shots to include in the slideshow, and then to like kind of organize them and to give them names based on their appearance. I didn't want to have any like stereotypical names. Like I wasn't going to name a car with strawberries on it, like Strawberry. I would go for a Japanese translation of that because that fits a whole lot better. So without further ado, here we go. It starts off a little bit slow, then it gets really good. Starting off, you just have plain old Tokyo Mater, who has only gotten one release ever, and it's in a pretty rare 3-pack, which is stupid, so we're undoing that. You got Kabuto, just plain old Kabuto, no flames, no different expression. You have stripped Kabuto, is Kabuto without all those fancy upgrades, just plain old car. Got Komodo, really cool design. I feel like it would be appreciated a little bit more if he hadn't been re-released a multitude of times. I think should see either on 2 or 3 releases. Got Ito-san, the first of, I guess, a trio of cars featuring Ito-san, Jesse Hollander, and Trent Croto, who are basically the same car in the same paint job. Of course, Jesse has a little bit of a darker blue, and Trent has a luggage cart on him, or behind him, towing behind him. I guess they do all have different expressions. Got Tabinu, really cool. Got Yojimbo. I think we're inching ever so slightly closer to some of the good stuff. Got Van San, I really like him. Got Patoka, Kabuto Ninja, I gotta love those. I have 3 of those, just because I wanted to have 4 like the episode. I've been stuck on 3 for like a decade now almost. I think it was since like 2017 maybe. But there is one being released in a 2-pack upcoming. So that is one I'm going to look forward to getting. Because I believe, I would assume, that the 2-pack features the updated Kabuto with flames. That not only has the flames, of course, but has the updated expression from the canceled version of Kabuto with flames. And I wanted to get that one as a single to kind of, I guess you could say, replace my old version. And let me check. Yes, it does appear the version coming out is the Kabuto with the flames. Fortunately, they didn't correct his wheels. And what we're doing with Kabuto, we're giving him the corrected red tires, which he has not had in any release so far. There's Kabuto Ninja, talking about that. And here's where it starts to get good. Here we have Niji, who is this Jenny Toland, all decked out, has like rainbow stars painted blue. Really, really sick design. Got Sandban, the green stoplight girl, Niban, the yellow stoplight girl, and Ichiban, the red stoplight girl, who actually was canceled as a diecast. You can see the only photo of her, I believe, the best photo of her right there on the bottom right at, I believe it was like one of the San Diego Comic-Con displays in the background. Got Modified Mater, another canceled release from a long time ago. Got Hachi, who was one of these smaller cars, looks like a big old wing. Got Kuromu, who is, you could say it looks chrome in the picture on the right, not as chrome on the picture on the left. So you just pick which one you like better. Looks like a really cool model, really cool color. Got a Rari, who is, I believe that is a chrome and blue car. Cool. That's no, that is not Karisu, I don't think. Got Kagawa, who is this kind of car with the, I guess, I don't think it's quite a tiger, it's more, I know it's themed off of like something. I don't remember what like show it was. Got Baburu, who is this Chuki model with a kind of, I guess, it almost looks like bubble gum, which I believe is maybe what Baburu translates into. I forgot. It might be just like bubble or bubbles. Got Komori, kind of a metallic brown van with some tuner upgrades. Got Igaku, another red, or I guess mostly white car with a bunch of red lines. Really cool tuner. That's pretty much all I have to say about a lot of these. Got Himawari, I guess you could say that's like a Hiromi model without that thing on top, and she's got the flowers, almost like the flower wheels, which look really, really cool. Got Dori Futo. I don't even know what model this is. He is like a plain yellow car. He has like a picnic table pattern on the bottom half, and his wheels are like pink. And it's not exactly easy to see, but you can tell that he has like a Wingo wing on the back of him. That is really neat. Really cool car. This is one of my favorites. You have Hoshi, who is very similar to Tabinu, but swap the red out for a very nice looking light blue, and swap that white out for a very nice looking yellow. He also has a Wingo wing, which features both that bright blue and that bright yellow, and even his wheels are that like chrome color with a yellow outline. Really cool. Got Watami, who is not just Suki. She is a new character. She is a fully blue car with a pink wing on top. Okay, little singles 2-pack between Suyakeshi and Vanira, who are two of the bartenders at the donut shop that Patoka stumbles into. Got Dragon Lightning McQueen. He's getting a re-release this year, I believe. Got Funny Face Drift Party Mater from this scene where he's like blowing his tongue. Got Puropera, another, I guess, almost like a Valerie Beaton model, but I think Valerie's a little thinner, with a Wingo wing, bright blue color. Got Kyojin, who is, I guess you could say that's like a Dan Schlarkenberg almost, with a darker blue color, dark blue like front bumper. Really like the look of that. That splitter is really cool. The wing is a little bit too tiny, and he also has a pink stripe kind of going down the middle. I guess since these cars technically don't have, or like are not like he's or she's, I just kind of pick and choose based on the appearance of the character or what I was feeling like, I guess. Got Torinochi, who is kind of similar to Dorifuto, I guess, just with different colors. Got the Wingo Wing on the back, mostly red with kind of orange underskirts. Or what are those called? Side skirts. I guess like underneath the red, the side skirts are orange. Looks pretty cool. Got Hayo, who is a kind of leopard-based car, Jenny Tolan model with a cool looking wing, very similar to Niji. The base is white with a kind of leopard pattern that wraps around a whole lot of it, and even looks like there's like white tires there. Then we got Tokay. Couldn't quite find a perfect shot of her, so we have a couple of decent ones. Looks like she's got some kind of pattern between, I can't quite tell what's on it. There's like red and a kind of teal color, a bright teal, red spoiler. Got Tangerine, this orange car in the far back. You have Tanso also in the far back. He's got a wing that you can just barely see. You got Poto, tiny little car, little green car with a spoiler back there. Then you've got Tene, looks like kind of a Valerie Reed car in all white with, I guess, I can't tell if that's black or red on the eyelids there. You can see a red front splitter and a black and red rear spoiler. Got Nate, who is kind of like a Corey Turbowitz, looks like the underside, or the bottom side is of the car is mostly black, and the top side is kind of like a metallic or kind of chrome teal or green or maybe blue color. Then the final car is going to be Murasaki, similar to Tangerine, just purple. Looks pretty cool. Now we got El Materdor. We got El McQueen. This is a variant that we surprisingly did not get originally. Got Chewy, of course, coming back. Got Carlos Glowspin, this fan in the stands. Looks like a little purple Jeremy, or not Jeremy Howard Malo, Kim Carlin's. Jeremy Howard Malo was the prototype name for Kim Carlin's. Got Pedro Hester, kind of like a silver, I think that's actually a very light blue, very pale blue sedan. We got Manny Montgomery, this big blue truck. Those three were not race fans, I guess, like fans of El Matador. Here we have El Matador without hood, a cancer release from a long time ago. You can see that on the right. Not sure what happened there. Here we have El Matador, of course. He is, once again, the namesake. Then we got Airmater. We got Propsworth Junkie, who has been released before under the name Props or Propowash. What's it called? Oh my gosh. Propsworth Junction. Wait, no. Propwash Junction Biplane. I think that's the name, yes. Propwash Junction Biplane. But that was just the name, didn't have an official name. So we're giving him a name in Propsworth Junkie, which kind of sounds like props. I'm not even gonna try to say it, you know what I mean. We got Sparky. This is the variant of him from Airmater, of course. He looks different in the Planes movies. Plane that looks the same though is Skipper Rally. This is basically a Planes release, but in the Cars line. Got Aviator Mater, classic. Mater Hawk and McQueen Hawk. Got the Blue Hawk right here, the Green Hawk, the Red Hawk, and the Black Hawk. All of those, I believe they're just called like Falcon Hawk 1, Falcon Hawk 2, but we're going to give them actual names based on what they were called in the episode. So this is the Blue Hawk, Green Hawk, Red Hawk, and the Black Hawk. And Black Hawk will come with that little bandage on the wing, just like in the episode and the real diecast. Got Airshow Mater, which is Mater after his like helmet kind of flies off, and he's just kind of covered in red paint. Got Marvin Aerobend, this red plane, or this orange kind of just propeller plane that just goes right by Mater. Got Barney Barnhart, this kind of dark blue Gen Tan sedan that Mater is towing to Propswash Junction. We got Ollie Beanhat and Angel Zibzine. They are some of the pitties that help Barney Barnhart get back to normal in the episode. You can see two of them here. They are different models. You can see Ollie's on the left, Angel is on the right. Got Joseph Floatbeam, one of the fans you can see in the stands at the air show. Looks like kind of a Derek Diecast Dobbs model. Painted pink, which looks really cool. I guess it could be orange, might be the lighting, but I think it's pink, which looks really nice. Got the black top and an Airmator flag on the left side. This is another fun one just because there's a whole lot of diecasts that have not been released from this one so far. We only got 5, I believe, and none of them were background characters. They were all main characters, so we are just going to add a whole bunch of those background characters into this line, and there is going to be some good stuff within. So first off, we got Cody Treadwell returning from the first custom mainline that I did a long time ago. He is kind of the camera car. Got Time Travel Mater, of course, alongside Time Travel McQueen, and a poster Stanley, which is a new variant of Stanley we're going to be releasing where he has this poster that kind of comes out of him. Got Harold Hood and Mary Steamstop, 2 of the traveling cars that kind of broke down next to the original Radiator Spring. Got Earl Drives a Lot, this big old Woody, I don't even know if that's a station wagon, it's like a big bus almost, with a whole bunch of luggage on top. This could easily be a deluxe. Clarence Smith, this kind of classic 30s Ford model. Woody Tap Cap, that is an actual Woody right there. Got Edith Odenwheel, this car, I think those are golf clubs in the back. I didn't notice that before, that's pretty neat. Got like the plaid design. It's got Traveler Lizzie, which is Lizzie with this big old hat. Sophia Stop Sign, you never really get an amazing shot of her, but you can go and watch the episode and kind of get a bunch of glimpses. She is the car that says like, here they come, when they were driving out of the courthouse. We go to the Radiator Springs 500 and a half. We got Blue Grit, Sandy Dunes, Shifty Sidewinder, and Idle Threat, all of those like dirt racers coming back. Got Off-Road Lightning McQueen. Got Stanley Days Fillmore alongside Stanley Days Sarge, all re-releases thus far. Stanley Days Remote, also re-release. Got Stanley McQueen kind of dressed up as Stanley in the episode. Stanley Day Sally, which is really cool. Almost looks like some kind of weird 1950s concept car, which may have been what they were actually going for. Got Stanley Days Lizzie, which is once again just Lizzie wearing a different hat. Stanley Days Flow, that looks really, really cool with like I guess that's like a headband up there. The little like, I don't know what you would call those on the sides, but the feather in the hat, even like the makeup on the eyes. Her eyelids are painted purple, or her eyelashes I guess are painted purple. That's pretty cool. Got Coconut Mater with all these like, I guess leaves on him, all these flowers, and of course the coconuts on his headlights. Got Stanley Days Luigi and Guido, they're basically painted in different shades of green and yellow. Stanley Days Red, looks pretty cool, there's a lot of detail to him actually, more than you notice at first. He's got a bunch of gold touches, he's got like a big bell on top of him, he's got some big wheels on the back, really cool. Stanley Days Sheriff, another cool one that we haven't seen. You don't really get a good shot of him once again. You can definitely tell that he's different. He's got a lot more white on him. Looks really cool. We got some of the band members. We have Vince Voiceline on the left and Corny Jade Pole on the right. Then to complete the band, on the left you have Liam Motorash and Roger Bump Pass. William Weight Shift, kind of a cream tan colored Mustang. That one's really cool. Got Bree Blowover. It looks like kind of like a rusty, I don't know what model this would match. Kind of like a rusty sedan. I don't think it's actually rusty. It may just be like a tan or yellow. But there definitely looks like there's some spots. We're just gonna pretend that this is rusty. It's not like you have there's a better shot of her in there. The final Cars tune, I believe, should be Spinning. Got Carla Car Keys, this green minivan that drives by. Guido with Sign, of course. I believe they got a Precision Series diecast, in a way. Got DJ just for funsies. Emilio Tip Force is this just red pickup truck. Aubrey Axel, this I believe that would be an Opal. I think it should be. painted all blue. Looks cool. Ruben Batello, another pickup truck, this time in all black. Got JJ Jump Spring, this kind of silver, what's his name, Van den Keur model. You can't really see too well, but you can definitely make out what he would look like from this picture. And as I mentioned, that is the end of the Cars tunes. Now we get into the treasure hunt line. Starting off with the silvers. First we got silver Claude Scruggs. Got silver Doug Krenkel, it's kind of a funny joke. Got silver Buford Camshaft. Got silver Greebles. Love that edit of him, even though you can't really see it because he himself is already like a very bright tan. It'll be much more noticeable in an actual diecast, trust me. It's not as easy to see in the edit, but you can see it. Got silver Grem alongside silver Acer, those are very nice. Silver Pileup. Got the silver Mecha Turbinatops. Of course, there isn't an actual Mecha Turbinatops 155 as of right now, so I decided to edit the Mini Racer. Got silver Road Trip Lightning McQueen, which is surprisingly hard to edit because, well, see, most of this, he is almost entirely red, and I had to make the red silver using the automated program, and I had to undo anything that I didn't want. We just got silver President Mater, another one with not a great quality photo. Then we have a 10-pack of silvers featuring a silver Blind Spot, a silver Lightning McQueen as Chester Whipple filter, a silver Hit as well as a silver Ram, a silver Miss Ritter, a silver Fair Game, a silver High Impact, a silver Liability, a silver Fishtail, and a silver Bill. And you can see all of those edits I made in here. My personal favorite is probably going to have to be Bill. I just love the look of that edit. Do like a Blind Spot, Hit and Run as well. We got some metallics. Got metallic taco. These edits are a little bit harder to do because you can't really make it can't really add a silver shiny texture, so I just had to manipulate the colors to kind of look like they were darker or brighter or whichever it would be. You can see I tried my best with taco, but it actually turned out pretty well for a metallic Nikki B. Got metallic Revo Kos, not perfect. Got metallic Sterling, who I guess could double as a silver. Got metallic Grant Greenlight, love the look of that car right there. Got metallic Kevin Shiftright, once again, I tried. Metallic Randy, another one, not too terrible. Got metallic Tyler Gremlin, love the look of that one. That's one of my personal favorites. Got metallic Bella Cadavra, that edit of course being made by SpaniCars95. I had to yoink it from the Mr. Docket thumbnail because I don't think we've actually seen a stock image of Bella Cadavra. We got metallic intro Ramone. This would be really cool. I don't think the poorly made edit gives it justice. Then we have a kind of Piston Cup 10-pack with some metallic racers. Got metallic Dirksen D'Agostino, metallic Todd Marcus, metallic Ruby Easy Oaks, metallic Kevin Racing Tire, metallic Floyd Movihill, who is, I think that edit is immaculate. Not to toot my own horn, but I think that's one of the best. Metallic Fresh Kerber, metallic The King of Porta Corsa release, metallic Chick Hicks, metallic Poly Polo Jumper, kind of like a cancer release or a prototype. You can see that picture up there. Thank you to Mr. Docket for sending me that photo. Brilliant looking car. One of my personal favorites. I want to have that one day. And metallic Davy Apex. I did try. I couldn't get them fully metallic on some of these, but they're not too terrible. Then we got some haulers. We got Antonio Rumage, the Cars 1 10-coat collar. Just ignore Jerry Drive change on there. Got Walter Zongo Bob, the Taco Mint hauler. We just have this picture of what the trailer would look like. Got CB Trailer Latch, giving him a full name, who's just known as CB previously. We have the cab on the left, and then we have the attaching trailer on the right. We just got a standard old Mack. Looks like this is the Cars 3 version of Mack. Rupert Oil Splash, this big semi that you can see at the truck stop. Got Trev Diesel. He's technically not a hauler, or she, I don't remember. Technically not a hauler, but it's almost hauler size, and this is a diecast that I think anyone who is into collecting the cars would absolutely love. personally the most unfortunate canceled car, and I think being in a hauler packaging would be the best way to release it. In terms of like to be in stores, you could put it as a SCCC exclusive or whatever. We got a Noe Holashi, the I guess sanitation truck from Cars 2 that Acer falls into. It's a pretty long truck actually. Got Kevin Greathole, Jack D. Post's hauler. Sheldon Remsnap, Rev Rodage's hauler. Love the design there, like old school saloon vibe. Got Sal Interstate, TG Castlenut's hauler. You just got this very, very like far away image of him here. Got Revney Sandstorm, Bobby Rotesta's hauler. We got Clyde William, the hauler for Chase or Race Lot for the next gen haulers. Another next gen hauler would be Larry Windflap for Barry DePedal. Clint Engine Block, the first and I believe the only Cars on the Road or hauler on this list. He's an oil tanker, so finally getting an oil tanker. Actually, well, technically this isn't a hauler, but it is a giant truck. We have Slate, the giant like drum truck from the Road Rumblers episode of Cars on the Road. And he'll come with the two pitties that are like, I guess, like they swing from him. You have Chuckle and Quencher, who they do kind of look identical. We got Ethan Allwildinger, the RSN hauler. You of course don't see the actual cab, but we do see the trailer, and wow, it looks awesome. That's it for the haulers. Time for the team sets. Here we got Team Trunk Fresh, featuring Dirksen D'Agostino, of course. His canceled crew chief, Owen Gagenot, making a long-awaited return from the original list. Got Mason Goodwheel, who we're just going to call the short pitty. Jackson Pitfast is the tall pitty. Then the only pitty that has an actual release is going to be the wide one, aka Bobby Chillzone. Got Team Vitaling now, featuring James Cleanair, the racer, of course. Orion Greenville, who is the crew chief. Got Winston Flipfork, the short pitty that we've already gotten as a diecast. Carl Pitnut is going to be the wide pitty. And Dean Moore is going to be your tall pitty. Nitroid time. Aiken Axler, of course, as well as Hugo Fast. Both of those already have releases. All of these already have releases, but those are the only two with names. Then Franklin Fry is the name for the wide pitty. Dominic Treetop is my name for that tall pitty. And for the crew chief, we're going to call him Gerald Roomdev. We got a fun one. Going into Cars 2 a little bit, we have Lewis Hamilton's team, of course, featuring Lewis Hamilton, Bruce Boxman. We have the canceled, I guess you could call that a tall pitty, Jimmy Jacob. You have this short pitty named Isaiah Pittsworth. Didn't say that wrong. And then you have the wide pitty you can only really see in like this really far out pixelated image. He was on like a poster, who we are going to call Pat Reverly. Another Cars 2 pack in Team Nigel Gearsley, featuring Nigel Gearsley, Austin Littleton, and Nick Pittire, all of who already have releases. Then we kind of have two like wide pitties with Jabari Jabfork and Stan Petrol. Got Team Jeff Gorvette now. Jeff Gorvette and John Lasseter, as well as Turbo Bullock, all three already released. Then we have a wide pitty who we're going to call Benjamin Hornish. And we have the short pitty we're going to call Alejandro Wheeletto. Now we're on to Cars 3, where we have Team Cal Weathers, featuring Cal Weathers. We're going to have his crew chief, or one of his crew chiefs, I guess, the King with headset. We've got Betty Spintight, as well as John Wyoming. And we got another one in Nathan Lead Wheel. We got Team Chris Roman, featuring, of course, Chris Roman. We have his crew chief, Marcus Tyroleum. Got one of the pitties, Audrey Curbio. Another pitty, Francis Kapnick. And the final of three pitties is going to be Isabel Kotire. Team Barry DePedal, you have, of course, Barry DePedal. Got his crew chief, Hassan Roadflow. Got three pitties, pretty much all identical, given different expressions and whatnot. one named Geo Copper Cup, one named Holly Mountain Surf, and another named Daniel Buckley. Team Noah Gocek, my idol. Got Noah Gocek, of course. Have Olivia Practice Run. Got Grease Springfield. Got Jeremiah Declet and Joshua Rock Tire, the crew chief. Jeremiah and Joshua kind of returning from the original video. We got some color changers. We're getting very near to the end, folks. Got color changer Charlie Checker. Got a color changer Heyday Smokey. And I'm just now realizing that little piece of blue that I didn't change back. That's unfortunate. Got color changer Cal Weathers going from green to blue. Love the look of that. Got color changer Andrew Ruman, teal and brown. Got a color changer Louise Nash. A color changer Ham Center Cut. It's not the best edit, but I mean, you get the point at least. This is my personal favorite though. Color changer Nigel Gearsley going from that British Racing green to just black. It looks so awesome. And there's just the plain black Nigel Gearsley. Got color changer Speed Demon going from black to white. I tried my best with this edit. It didn't turn out too terrible apart as long as you don't look at like the door, which is very, very sloppy. Got color changer Wilmar Flats going from gray to pink. Color changer Milton Calipier, orange and blue. Color changer Brooke Fassler, who is one of the kart characters I came up with. You saw her earlier. A color changer of Miles Axelrod, yellow and green. Color changer Flo, black and green. A color changer of Intro Ramone, who is blue and pink. A color changer Krusty Rotor, who is orange and pink. This is a really cool one. A color changer of Todd the Pizza Planet truck, going from yellow to red. Got a color changer of Rip Clutch Gonski. You might not notice it at first, but as you look closer, you will see he will go from green to that yellow he has, or it's kind of like an orangish yellow, whatever. Got a color changer Heyday River Scott, going from purple, or I guess that's more of like a, yeah, it says pink, but it's more of a purple. We'll call it pink though, from his original blue. Like this one got color changer Todd Marcus, going from like a turquoise to red. Got a color changer of Kabuto going from red to gray. This one would be really cool to see him. I do like this edit that I did. Got Maddie McGear, yellow and red. Got color changer of Jeremy going from blue to I guess purple. Did I do that edit right? Yes, I think I did. Got color changer Greg Candyman, green and I guess brown. Looks pretty cool. Got some color changer 2-packs. Got Bob Cutlass going from that gray to purple. You've got a color changer Daryl Cartrip going from red to gray. Love that metallic like silver there. There's some close-ups of them. Got a color changer DJ, as well as a color changer Boost. Boost going from I guess dark blue to that purple. DJ going from red to blue. And there's some more close-ups. Got a color changer Road Trip McQueen going from red to green. And the color changer Materdor going from just blue to black. Got a color changer Kevin Shiftright, green and blue, and a color changer Ralph Carlo, red/blue. Kind of like color swaps of their sponsors. It looks awesome. Got Fabulous Hudson Hornet McQueen and Fabulous Hudson Hornet Doc Hudson, both who go from their original dark blue to a kind of golden yellow. The edits aren't the best, but I think you get the idea and they look really sweet if you can just imagine it. A color changer of Grem going from his orange to Acer's green, and Acer goes from his green to Grem's orange, and I think the colors are pretty well accurate in this edit I did here, but even if they're not, you can see what they're supposed to be and they look awesome. Then we get into the final, I guess, little segment of this whole custom mainline, and we are calling it the World of Cars. I believe it should be on that opening, one of the opening slides where I detailed everything that was going to be in here. This is a way to release cars that were not particularly in like a movie or whatnot. Some of them were, but to release some of like the weirdos, outliers of the Cars universe. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about once we get into it. Starting off, we have Soccer Mater from this poster. He's got like a headband, he's got a green front bumper, he's got a little ball under his tire, and I believe he has like a yellow door with a 10 for, I assume, Pele. Got Raja Kart Push with carts. This Target Pity that you can see in an advertisement, and it'll come with like 3 or 4 carts, however many we can fit in the packaging. Got Gerhard Gerhard, the Allianz Pity, who made an appearance in several of the Cars 3 advertisements. Got Mick Ice Piston, a Trunk Fresh Pity from the original Cars teaser trailer. Got Tokichi Slash, like a ninja pity that appears in some of like the Cars 2 extras, where like Mater's being trained by Finn and Holly. Got Miriva Opal with camera, this green opal with a camera, and we'll learn a little bit more about Miriva later. Got Zebra Mater from, I believe it was a Russian safety ad, looks pretty neat. Got Sarah Safe Street and Tyree Torelli. Sarah, of course, being the State Farm, I guess, spokesperson, and that is her official name. And then I had a made-up name for Tyree Torelli, the State Farm Pity. One of many State Farm Pitties that are seen in the advertisement. Got Pico Roadbend, the Tim Treadless crew chief, and Johanna Race Rub, the pity for Tim Treadless, or one of the pitties. I didn't want to make a full team set. I figured these could slide into the world of Cars pretty easily, just because they're kind of... I never specifically said they didn't have to be from a movie, but also they do only, like, you can only, like, see close-ups of them in the fly-through, so I guess that was close enough. Then we have, like, a little 2-pack featuring 4 pitties. We have Danny Driveshaft on the left, Ali Gonzalez in the middle on the left, Tristan Terrafens on the right middle. On the far right, you have Damien Lepitt, 3 of these pitties that appear in, like, the Dancing with the Cars short. We have Mazda and Razda, 2 that appear in this Cars 2 promotional piece where Francesco is like showing off. 2 little Miatas. We have Larry Painter, just kind of Larry Camper, but he's a painter. Got Darian Glowcopter, a Rust-Eze helicopter, which appears in the, well, it did not appear anywhere, but it was released in the Disney Store line, which is where this low quality image comes from. Got Philip Terrain Tread, this big old Hummer who appeared in, I believe it was a Hertz commercial when the original Cars movie came out. We got a 4-pack. You have Ty Supercharge, the Cars 3 teaser trailer Trunk Fresh Racer. You have Wolfgang Horngen, the Cars 3 teaser trailer number 57. Got Roy Weathersteer, the Nitro Raid racer from that original trailer. And you have Simon Wheelslip, the Vitaling racer. You can see all of them here. This would be an amazing 4-pack if we actually got it. And the final new cars of this video, the final cars overall, we have the Opel Visit 4-pack featuring Miriva Opel, as we saw earlier, but without the camera this time. Zafir Opel, who was on the top right, kind of like was it Alex Vandell, but a little bit of different color, different expression, and he'll have the tires. Got Astra Opel, a blue, looks like a coupe there. And then we have Purple Ramone with paint gun and hood. That is the best quality I could get from that very old advertisement. And that will do it for all of the cars. That's all, folks. I did want to give a massive shout out to this website called The World of Cars. It is a forum. You can easily find it by looking up World of Cars forum. It should be titled BDD. It is a website that has a database of pretty much every single release dating back from 2006 when the line first started all the way up until now. And this website, because stock images weren't as prevalent back in the day, and they still aren't for certain characters, I used a lot of their images to represent certain characters in here, and I even used them for a few edits. So I figured this was the least I could do, since they contributed a whole lot by the pictures that they post online. You can see some of the characters on the bottom, like Autonaut McQueen, Professor Z, Human. Those are all pictures that I took from their like database or whatnot. The QR code on the right will take you directly to that site. If you want to scan that with something, that'll take them right to your website. And the QR code in the bottom left will just take you to their Instagram page. A website that it's just an awesome website, and they helped a whole lot with me being able to find the pictures for characters in this project. And yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching. That is the end of the video. I spent a really long time making this. The final day that I'm recording is August 2nd, 2023. Just kidding. Here we are on October 6th, 2023. And the video is still not complete. This is the last clip I'm recording, not whatever that just was. You can see here I'm in my editing software, recording this little bit of an extra outro for you guys, just to kind of give some behind the scenes on this video. It has been an absolute doozy up until this point. So many technical difficulties throughout this whole thing, mostly the editing process. You can see all the clips I have here on the left, also some pictures. If I scroll all the way here, you can kind of see what the timeline looks like. It was not fun to make this edit at the very least. My throat, as I mentioned at some point in the video, I don't even remember when at this point, like whenever I speak for a long amount of time, my voice starts to really hurt. Like there is at least one part in this video where like I needed to stop recording because I was running out of ability to be alive, basically. And that's even happening right now because you know what I did is I recorded this entire segment just like a second ago. I started at 7:38. You see the timer in the bottom, you see the little clock in the bottom right that says 7:49. I started another one at 7:38. And I just yapped about garbage for about 8 minutes, and then I went to go put it into this video so I could finally export it. And you know what happened? My mic was muted, and I couldn't use that footage because the whole point was me talking and you couldn't hear me talking. So that made me kind of extra mad at this entire dumb, stupid editing process. Thank you, Clipchamp, for deciding to just buffer. And that wouldn't be such a bad thing if when it buffered, it actually finished buffering. So whenever it buffered, you were just screwed. You just had to close your thing and hope you could open it back up and it would work. But it never does. You know what it does do? Is that you can back your media up on this editing software. You have to pay to do that. If I click on this, upgrade for content backup, and I am not paying for a free service. I am not a Twitter Blue user either. So I was not going to pay for that. I'm not going to pay to back any of this stuff up. So I just decided to kind of go in it without anything. And you know what happens when you do that? Whenever you close Clipchamp, click this X in the top right over here, you want to know what it does? It closes the program. Whenever you open it back up, everything's gone. Everything's gone. It erases all of your clips and pictures and all of that. What you have to do is you have to go into your files and upload them all again. Now, once they get uploaded, they'll still be in their same spot. You don't have to edit. You don't have to trim or crop or whatever. They'll still be in the same spot. You just have to upload it all again. But because for me, some of it came from my downloads folder, some of it came from my screenshots folder. Some of my things came from different spots of my downloads folder. Some of it came from my videos folder. So that's 4 different folders that I had to upload from, and that is not easy, especially when they're separated between other things, like a whole bunch of Minecraft gameplay. By the way, I did want to make a Minecraft video. I had a really enjoyable night with some of my friends playing Minecraft for a couple hours back in July, and I started making a video on it. I kind of ran out of time because I started school, but you know what? I bet those clips don't even exist anymore because guess what? I was making that video in Clipchamp, and I bet if I open that software, they're just going to be erased, just like it was every time I opened up this one. So eventually what I had to do was I made an entire separate folder, uploaded every single thing that needed to be in here to that folder, and then anytime I reopened the software, I could just upload that folder and everything would be in place. So that was that problem solved. enough about this dumb, stupid editing software. I guess I do have still one more hurdle to jump over with this thing, and that is getting the video to export, because I'm not sure if I even have enough room to export this. You see that timer right there? This is almost at this point, it's over 3 hours long. It's so long that it actually broke the timer. At one point, you could kind of see that in like the original recording before I decided to stupidly not turn my microphone on. And my microphone isn't even a microphone. I don't remember if I've ever mentioned this, but just like how my camera holder for when I used to do SpaniCars Diecast review videos was just like a launcher that I'd set my phone on top of and hope it wouldn't fall over, which it would fall over in almost every single video. I don't have an actual microphone. I literally just have a webcam that I just hold up. I put it on a glass, get it to stay there, and I put that glass by my face, and I just talk. So this isn't even like a good microphone. I'm sure the audio isn't that bad, but it's not a real microphone. So yeah, I've been yapping. Gotta export it. Hopefully, that's gonna take a really, really long time, and then I have to upload it to YouTube, and that's gonna take a really, really long time to process. So I said on my Instagram story that this video is hopefully gonna come out, my biggest video ever, which it is, both in length and probably in notoriety. I wanted it to be up within the next couple days, and I posted that on Thursday, which would be yesterday at the time of recording this. And while the video is complete, I don't even know how long it's going to take for it to not only export out of Clipchamp, if that even works, and if it doesn't, I don't know what I'm going to do. I will get this video out no matter what. No matter what, this video will be coming out. If I have to delete every other file on my computer to get this thing to save, have enough space, I will do that. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'll do stuff like that. I'll delete a whole bunch of stuff to get this thing to export, and then it's just a waiting game with YouTube to upload it, and then process, which is going to take a very long time. Luckily, I'm uploading from my computer, which usually doesn't happen. I usually record a video on my desktop, looking at a car or whatever. Then I can just go to the YouTube app, upload it. But whenever I'm uploading from my computer, it does go a lot quicker. Not to say that it still won't be extremely long, but it will be long-ish, longer than usual. Also, I don't exactly know what music I'm going to put in the background. Of course, if you've been watching this, you've heard it. Actually, no, that's another hurdle I have to do, because I haven't added the music yet in this thing, if you looked at the timeline a few minutes ago. So my plan is to just export this to get this whole mess on the left out of my way. Then I'll add some music in afterwards. I don't know what music I'm going to add in. I'm just probably going to do like some like copyright-free, like smooth jazz or whatever. Put it very faintly in the background, because let's be honest, nobody wants to hear me yapping about nonsense for over 3 hours without some kind of music in the background. If you watch this all in one go, you are an actual psychopath. Please check yourself into a mental hospital, but I do appreciate you. Big ups to you if you're that person, which I'm sure none of you are. If you've watched the whole thing, you probably watch it in parts, and then I'm very, very proud of you. You are the best person on earth. I love you. I think it's time for just some thank yous. Thank you to you for watching this entire video. You definitely boosted my watch time if you watched it all the way through, because I'm trying to hit those 4,000, it might be 3,000 now, watch hours to be able to get monetized. I've hit the other requirements, all the other requirements except for the 3,000 or 4,000 hours you need of watch time per year to be able to get monetized. And I want a couple extra bucks so I can buy cars, probably. I don't think I buy anything else at this point, so that's kind of sad, but it's also just what I do. So yeah, I'm trying to get monetized still. So yeah, then I think now it's time for the thank yous. I don't know if I mentioned that already. So yeah, oh yeah, I did. I'm so stupid. So yeah, thank you so much for watching up to this point. Thank you to some of my friends, SpaniCars, Mr. Docket, JScars8, and AstroSmokey for being featured in this video. I'm sorry you guys had to wait for so long to be included in this. I did have a little bit of trouble editing their segments, because I had to download all their audio files, then I had to pair them with all of the screenshots that I took, and that just took a long time, sadly. So thank you to them for putting up with this. Thank you to my entire fan base, my entire dedicated fan base. I know I have such a big fan base, guys. I'm just the most popular person ever. I'm not really. That's obviously a joke. But I know I just like lie about stuff sometimes. Like I'll be like, oh, this video's coming out then, or I'm gonna do this, and then it just never happens. I'm way too ambitious, and sometimes it never turns out as good as I am. We do not talk about the Matchbox series or Cars 3, whatever it was called, back in 2017. I have friends that bring that up in real life sometimes, and it does not please me. It does not. And it makes me a little upset because I do not think fondly of those videos. And I know you guys are going to go and try to find those now. And you will be able to, because I don't delete or private any of my videos. Well, my old videos, because they are cringy and they feature me with a little fetus voice. Which, by the way, thank you for listening to my voice for these over 3 hours. I know it's not the best voice of all time. Like, I don't have, like, an especially pleasing voice, and I know I mispronounce or missay or just, like say things incorrectly. I guess I still have, like, a child's, like, tongue where I just don't stay. I'd be like, well, I never, ever, something like that, you know. It's getting way better. It's getting a lot better. And it's getting way better. But it's still not perfect, and those clips, as I mentioned, were recorded over the course of some time, and also that I was recording for a really long time, so it's kind of hard to speak after that long amount of time. My voice right now is not particularly doing too hot. And lastly, who else do I have to thank? I've thanked my friends for being featured in this video. Thank you to TrunkFreshGreen34 as well for some of those names of Rolio Polos and Peter Tarias from earlier. I'll link his poster video down in the description below. A very, very great video. So please go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. I guess the only other person to thank would be like people in real life for existing who I know. Because as I mentioned towards the start of the video, I'm kind of getting a headache. Oh my god, I need to shut up. As I mentioned towards at the start of the video, I don't want to have every car just have like a repeating bland name. Like Mattel has made like 4 cars that are just named Brian. Maybe it's 3 or 4. I can't even remember. That's how many they've done it. How many times they've done it. So I wanted to include like as many names as possible. So I did sneak a lot of stuff in there. As I mentioned, there's some NASCAR driver inspiration. There's inspiration. I think every teacher I've had up to 10th grade, because currently I'm in my junior year of high school, and I made and recorded all this before I started that year. So all of my teachers up to my 10th grade or sophomore year have some kind of like carified name kind of hidden in there that only I will probably know. Maybe a couple of my friends who watch this will recognize some. And I guess also thank you to like, I guess my classmates who I don't know if this would be kind of weird or not, but I did kind of like use their names in this video because they don't have Cars characters named after them, you know? And I wanted to include different names, so I just used them as inspiration. Like, oh, this person has like a unique name, I might as well just include it. So if you're watching this and your name is in it, shout out to you for existing. And that is pretty much it for this video. What an absolute just wow. Biggest video ever. Oh my gosh. I'm actually just tired from speaking so much. Thank you so much for watching, being here all the way to the end. Maybe you just skip to the end, and in that case, I hope you go away forever and go night-night and never wake up. See you guys in the very next. Well, I don't know. That's a little bad right there. Don't do that. I hope that doesn't happen to you. I hope that your pillow is always warm. It's never cold and it's never comfortable. I hope your bed is full of like sand and whatever. So, there we go. That's it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one, whenever that will be. I don't know when it'll be, but I do know that it'll be pretty good. Thank you. See you guys next time.